shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder raising war a night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality, nightfall the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder raising war a night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Sail war. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
All right, welcome one, welcome all to Valhalla Esports Season 3, Week 3. I'm joined today by Malco and Janelle, our casters for today, to bringing you Stoner Nation versus Night Raid Owls. How's it going, gentlemen?
Going good, going good. How are you feeling, Janelle?
I'm doing pretty fantastic myself. Really excited for these games, I think.
Looking like we got some pretty interesting. From what it seems between some of the changes that have been made on. Try to just bring another, also trying to just bring another win to the table. We have Stoners Nation versus Night Raid Owls. Do we want to do a quick call out of the teams here?
Sure. So for the top side, we have Storm of Nations. We have Flame for the jungle, Keanu Reeves, my boy. Mid lane, we have the captain of the team, Boosted Sandwich, AD carry, Duck Butter Toast, and support CLG Worthy Dust.
As you can see on the side of Stoner Nations, there were some changes made for their team coming into this week, with the top lane change being made over to Flame and then the ADC being changed over to Duck Butter Toast. I'm guessing they're trying to get that improvement up in the top lane, hoping that that'll make get them their first win of the season here. And then on the side of Night Raid Owls, we have top lane being Niel, jungle Kid Boo, mid Cocaine, ADC Yukahu, and then support
Yukahu.
Dainty Taco. Yukahu?
Yukahu? Huh.
Yukahu. Got it. I'm gonna have to learn that today. With these two, it looks like the with this particular team, not really any changes have been made. The team itself is currently 1-1, so I don't think that they were really looking at themselves as really any problems. Maybe just need to clean up some of the play. Considering all their so far their games have all gone to 3 total matches, so it's definitely a scrap to going up against NRO.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how long these games are going. If it's going to go a quick 2-0 or a nice 3-game series.
Which I don't think, actually, yeah, since I've started casting this season, hasn't gone to a 3 game series yet. So we're about to see if that ends up happening. And from the way it's looking, looks like we are getting ready for draft. So, and already we are looking into the bands. NRO on blue side, Stoner Nation on the red side. First band coming out here being the Renekton.
Uh, yeah, really good ban, especially with how much it's been played in Worlds and everything, and it's looking like a really strong 1v1 champion. And on top of it, the fact that they have Flame, right? NRL has Flame.
Yes, they do.
That's correct.
So he's trying to probably ban out the counters for his champion that he's going to pick. Brain not working.
And then we see on Stoner's Nation taking out the Maokai. That's actually something I had on the actual like sheet there for them to ban out on NRO. And then again, once again, I had another likely ban was it going to end up being the Lilia here. So that's kind of not really a surprise. Take that away from Kid Buu. And on the NRO side, they ended up banning the Jax.
Yeah, so Kid Buu is an avid player of AP champions, and so is Gianni. So I think they're kind of double banning themselves a little bit at the same time, but there's always the possibility of an Eve pickup.
Here looking like the final ban here is going to end up being the Lucian to take away from that bot side and to final out the bans here on the about first round now, sorry, it's going to end up being the Gwen. I don't know why my brain froze there. Kind of looking like back and forth between kind of like the little sheet I made for the two teams beforehand. And quite actually a few of the bans that were kind of predicted here for this is actually coming true here, especially on the side of what Stoner's Nation was intending to ban out on NRO.
Yeah, so Keanu's been playing a lot of Gwen jungle from what it seems, and he's not shy to it either. It's a strong ban, especially for the late game scaling and potential on ganks, and the fact that you can't stop her if she's running at you at max speed. And then we
And
have Nautilus pickup from the side of NRL, followed by Ezreal and who else?
I think the Ezreal is definitely a decent response for going up against a Nautilus, especially if he tries to target you down. At least you have some form of an escape. You can't get locked down that easily. But
Especially, being a safe blind, and then on top of it, he's just in a really good spot. And the Renata Glask for the second phase.
I'm very interested to see how that's going to go for the bot lane themselves. Since you already knew what their support was, it was not a bad pick just to be like, okay, we have the safety of an ADC, so then Renata just kind of probably has a little bit more like worry on themselves. So I guess it's trying to just become a very self-sufficient bot lane is what they're looking to do here.
Yeah, Renata's been always like a queen of disengaging, and then on top of it, she's been seeing a lot of play at Worlds as well. People usually match her with very strong hyper carries, though. So I'm kind of interested to see how this kind of iteration will pan out with Ezreal being more cast focused.
And then here now we're seeing that NRO is looking to pick up the Swain. I'm gonna guess that they're kind of holding that for a flex pick, whether they wanted to go into the bot side or into the mid lane. But based on this team, I'm thinking that's looking more towards potentially the mid side.
Ooh, a Vi pickup. So they're
Oh, haven't
definitely
seen that in
looking
a
at
while.
yeah, they're looking at a very very pick centric comp. I think it's what from between the Swain, Vi, and Nautilus. I think all they need to really round out their draft is a very good like side scaler and maybe playmaker in mid.
And then Stoner Nation with some decent ultimates to steal from the other side. They respond with the Silas here. I think that's a pretty good pick for mid lane.
Yeah, it's Silas just insane. No matter where you put him, support he two shots your 80 carry, mid lane he one shots your 80 carry. He's just a monster. That champion needs to be nerfed. Oh, Rumble getting banned out
And
from
then
the
the
side.
Vayne.
Oh,
Yep, and then the Vayne and the Yone right after. They actually got that Rumble ban that they wanted to get earlier, so that's actually good for them. And I'm not sure what their final ban's gonna be, but we do see quite a few of the champions that were expected to be banned getting banned here.
Yone is a pivotal champion to ban. Does actually pretty well into Silas, and I think is just a really good team fighter just for the side of NRO. So it's a very smart ban for them to take out.
And to round it to finalize the bans is going to end up being Camille on that top side, a decent one for going up against Flame. Or for Flame to pick up normally. But that's a very surprised they didn't end up taking his Gnar, so
I like the
all right.
Sejuani. I
Yeah.
really like the Sejuani paired with Silas. It's just another melee, and if they go melee top as well, it's going to be 3 melees, and it's just going to work out super well because Silas has improved attack speed when he uses an ability through his passive. It's just you stack your E on Sejuani so fast.
Oh, and what is
Neferi.
it here? We're gonna get a Neferi. So that's looking like Neferi mid, I'm guessing, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I saw it in Cocaine's recently played.
So so it's looking like Swain Nautilus bot lane. They kind of gave up they gave up the flex there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I like the angle of Neferi, but from what I know, Cocaine plays a really good one, so it could be okay in terms of they're just going full on pick for and the other side is just full team fighting, and I kind of like Stoner Nation so far. I'm excited what they last pick to round out their draft.
So we got solo queue versus flex queue here. Is what
Oh,
it's looking like.
100%.
Is solo queue gonna end up
Fiora.
taking it out? Oh wow, they wanted to get that melee, but with some carry potential up in the top side, bringing out the Fiora. I love it.
So yeah, they're definitely looking to play top side for both sides, I think. Maybe NRO can play through bot side with the Swain Nautilus pick with the Vi follow up. I'm pretty
So
sure that'd be good play.
So I want to actually say this. So when we were kind of prepping for here, so I'm looking at both of these teams and based the way like we have a flex queue versus solo queue game, kind of in a sense. So when you look at like the strong sides for each of these teams, we did say like likely to play through for NRO was going to either be their mid bot or jungle side, but the way that they set themselves up and how solo queue they went with their team, they don't necessarily need to play into any. It's like more like each person needs to just have their individual strengths come together to make this team win it. And then also again they have the ability to literally just be like, oh, we need to just focus this one person, just pick them down, and then we can focus on everyone later. But that's kind of countered by the fact that the other team is a big team fighting team with decent peel, decent just decent counters to them overall. So Kasante, and I'm really excited for this top lane matchup of Kisante versus Fiora.
Yeah, I definitely think Asante needs to show up, and if they do end up team fighting and get on top of Ezreal, or at least zone out their Silas. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit of an issue for them to actually maneuver around these dragon pits and baron pits, because it's it's really hard for NRO to engage onto Stoner's Nation with the champions that they have, even though they're all engaged champions. So it's definitely going to be, I think, side lane play for most of the game for both teams, besides Stoner Nation's going for the occasional dragons.
Okay, so you're thinking that we might actually see a much slower game this time around. Once again, other than like the occasional pick that they might be able to get from, maybe a Vi Neferi combination as an assassination somewhere, and so on and so forth. Or like 1v1s going on against each other in the top lane, or whenever the junglers go up to help their lanes. Like that's probably the most we're not going to see as much of like scrappiness in this one. You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think if they just try to fight over dragons, Stoner Nations could definitely just walk through them with their draft. So that's definitely a possibility.
I know whenever we cast, we generally like to go with like when we choose like what teams are gonna win. I know we're probably gonna get a poll up in a few moments. But whenever we like to generally say like, oh, what team's gonna win, we kind of like to go with the team that has I don't know, the more cohesive team fighting potential, I think is the way of
Yeah,
putting it. It's like,
easier
oh,
to execute as well.
exactly, and I think a lot of teams feel that way with the league, with like how they are, like most teams are in the league anyway. Like, oh, if you can make a much more easily executable team fight comp, it just usually works out better. But we have seen times where like the type of team that NRO has completely made a big difference. Um, and I'm getting something here that's saying they can barely hear us. Can you guys let us know if that's better for us, Pharaoh, and other people in the chat? Uh, but with that much said, is the teams already ready for the after draft here, or yeah, I'm not sure what's. Oh,
They're selecting champions still.
okay. I
We
just
still
wanted
have
to
a little
kind of know
time
where
to
they were.
fill.
Okay, just wanted to know.
I did post a prediction. You can now vote on the prediction and use your points to, you know, say who you think's gonna win.
My measly 270 points will go away.
Now, guys, don't forget some of these notes you have to remember is that there were some changes made over to Stoner's Nation. Again, they did acquire Flame, and I do want to give Flame some props because games that I've seen him sub last season and play has been very consistent and was one of the like MVPs a lot for the teams that he subbed for. So he's definitely a very good player in the top side. So I would definitely maybe give some credit to him with them bringing in these new changes. And then again, maybe they'll have a little bit more. I'm not sure how Duck Butter Toast has been able to synergize with Worthy Dust, but we don't know how well that might actually work for them in this bot side. So we should definitely give some credit for them. So definitely try to get some of those votes in for Stoners Nation. I definitely think they have a real good chance here.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing what Flame brings to the side of Stoner Nations, especially since, like you said, he's been so consistent and he's just been an all-around star player. So I think that's probably a good pickup for them, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the cohesion of their team. I'm definitely excited to see Duck Butter Toast as well, because I don't think I've ever seen him play, so I don't know what kind of player he is. He might be a safe player, or he might be an aggressive player like me, and
Exactly. And just really quickly, like, just to say, anybody in the chats right now who might have insights about people in the league or any of these teams, please, by all means, go ahead and put some things in the chat, interact with us so you guys can also kind of be a part of the casters here too. And if you are really loving it here in the league or you're new to the league, join the Discord. Be sure to follow the Twitch. And don't forget that you can also claim your 30 days of Valhalla Esports love by using your Prime subs here every single time you catch these streams. So, and I'm seeing right here, Critter is saying Flame 1v9, and I couldn't agree more. There's been games where literally Flame has saved teams.
I'm gonna go with like at least a 3v7 if he pulls it out. A lot of help with the Silas and Sejuani if they go that route. So we'll see.
And then being like, you're debuting on this team with Fiora.
True. I mean,
So
what a better champion, Just
put yourself on that like carry and be like, yeah, like I'm gonna show you guys I can carry too. Like you can almost put a lot of top laners on the tank duty and be like, cool, just play safe up there. Just don't do anything bad and just keep the lane like a lane state a good state, you know? But like you're really giving Flame like, no, put me on this Fiora, I'm gonna carry here, we're good to go. And I'm sure he has the confidence to do so.
they definitely drafted for it. So I mean, it's up to them. The ball's in their court if they play side lane properly, because that's going to give them so much pressure for these Rift Heralds and the dragons, right? So it's the ball is in their court to start, and we'll see how the enemy team follows through.
I don't care how many times they end up changing Fiora, she ends up being a menace. And she was a menace from when she first started with that old ultimate. She's still a menace now. And again, like big thing that you said was the Sejuani pick, and like they have way too much potential for proccing the Sejuani passive. So I'm really scared for a lot of like the 2v, the 2v2, 3v3 fights that might happen between the mid, top, and jungle side. And I'm kind of seeing like with the way it's looking post 6, it could definitely like if Stoner's Nation plays it right, it's definitely looking like a real hard fight for Night Raid Owls.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Vi just completely stays away from topside. There's no reason to be topside. If I was her, I would definitely split the map and just sit bot. Because Sejuani can't fight Vi in the jungle. Which means that she should just be looking for camps and just spam ganking bot as hard as it's going to be. Spam ganking in Ezreal Renata. Them or mid, I think. I think the potential in mid is a lot better for her ganks.
What you just said right there, though, is really funny. You're like, oh, go ahead and try spam ganking in Ezreal, who will generally have his E at level 1 up every 17 seconds. So, like, yeah, you could keep wrapping or trying to, like, wrap around gank, trying to catch him off cooldowns. But when he has basically 2 potential escapes plus a Renata to kind of protect him there, like, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, but all it takes is one Nautilus hook to mess your day up. That's all I gotta say.
And that you're not wrong about at all.
2.5 v 7.5 final offer. I don't know.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Flame, prove it today that you're a 1v9 type of player. Come on, you got this. we're hyping you up, man. We wanna hype up everybody. Both these games are looking real interesting. Also, another thing I really do want to point out is something I actually said in I think the first week of casting, or actually not even the first week of casting. It was within like the drafting, like during draft, where I was like, oh, it looks like a lot of like some of these ADs that are getting picked, they also look like they can play like mid lane or like mage type champions. And we're gonna start seeing some mages in the bot lane like Vlad, Swain, Ziggs, and others, and it's looking like that's something that's starting to happen more consistently. We saw Goat Kings where Beard ended up taking the Swain down bot side, and now we're seeing it once again here with Yukahu. So I think that's going to be something more consistent, especially where you have more of these AD options that go towards the top and mid, or even the jungle, such as their 3 with the Cassante, the Neferi, and the Vi.
Oh, I 100% agree. I'd as much as I love playing AD carry, I think it's just in a very like vulgar state right now. Like every champion in League of Legends will 2-shot you no matter who they are, and in my opinion, it's just better off to play like a random stuff or the mages, right? Like I've played Aurelia bot and done just fine. There's so many options for bot lane just because it's not very necessary for you to have the range, especially in a lot of these bruiser comps. So I think League is in a very weird state with that, I think. Yeah.
We've seen this happen before in previous seasons, and it was bound to come back eventually. But I think for what it is, it just at least brings some variety to the state, because you can still play AD carries in the bot lane. It's not like the traditional AD carry is completely dead like that one season where it was for a bit. But like now it's like, yeah, AD carries still are able to do something, and though you can still play a mage in the bot lane if you want to do so.
Yes.
And then we got a real quick pull from the Renata here, but them not hitting level 2 in time does not allow them to actually have that pressure to gain more. Flame pushing in Cassante as well.
It's definitely more worth it for Swain to be taking E first anyway, and just looking for those trades like that and stacking the early souls. He's making very good trades. He's not taking any damage after the pulls as well.
Which is good here. And we're seeing the first gank coming. Flash E, pull in here onto the Renata. Go in with the Q. Lands, about to get the first blood, going right over to Yukahu. And we're getting also another fight here between Boosted and Cocaine. And as we see the Neferi getting pretty low. Boosted wanted to go in, flash in, chains, not able to land and get the stun, not able to finish them off, having to sacrifice the flash there. Little fight, not going to be enough. We see the first blood go in the bot lane, and Kid Buu here, knowing that the flash was just wasted on the Silas. He's going to be waiting. He still has his flash. Might be able to flash Q in here and be able to secure another kill for the mid laners. Let's see, going in, misses the chains, flashes in, Q lands, Kid Buu getting the kill on Boosted.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Split the map. Just play to your strengths, and which is your bottom side and your mid. Those are the only places you can gank right now, because right now Flame is going to be insane, and you pair that with the Sejuani, and they're just going to win every 2v2. So just make sure bot gets behind, even though they're playing safe champions. Get the lead on your carries, and just pray to God Flame doesn't get too big and split push your Nexus away.
And I like the fact that already we're getting a real good start here for this side. I'm sure Boosted is not really deterred as we're seeing an immediate 2v2 happening, but Birdie does getting caught down once again. Dainty Tato taking that kill for himself. Another kill going to the bot lane of the side of NRO.
I really didn't expect Worthy to die twice in a row. He's usually a much safer player. Although I usually see him on more engagers rather than, you know, the peeling, the enchanters, right? Spooky. The wave is shoving in the side of Flame, and it is Sejuani setting up for a gank as well.
And Sejuani, Keanu trying to go in, but Niall knowing what's going on here, since that gank from a mile away, and is just able to be safe under the turret, deterring Keanu Reeves back into his own jungle.
So this is where Fiora's gonna start getting the big boons. She's already up in Sia. She has the wave shoving to her. She has every opportunity to freeze this lane and just make it so Kisante can get perma-ganked by Sejuani and just get that lead that way.
So I'm sure that like Flame is probably calling out for that, but it seems like right now he is actually managing to sustain the lane properly on his own. Again, he's able to put it into his estate, and look, he's able to sit here and harass the Cassante right back under his own and keep him off of this wave right now. So I think it's actually, yeah, like you said, like Flame is definitely keeping the wave state in the lane in his own favor for the most part.
Oh yeah. He's about to get experience lead, gold lead, and if Cassante steps too far up, it's going to be a kill lead as well.
But we
Interesting.
see here that Sejuani hanging up too much in the top side, allowing them to go ahead and try to secure this first Drake. But I don't think that they're gonna just let it go immediately, or at least they're gonna try to take something alongside it. As right now Keanu is seeing the Neferi gonna get hit by nothing as everything's getting engaged. Blue team ends up taking the Drake, but they also end up engaging right onto Boosted with the stolen Swain ultimate. Not gonna be enough as Dainty Tato goes ahead and takes another kill for himself, manages to snare down the Ezreal, but Ezreal gets away with the E. That's another kill going over as the mid laner of the side of Stoner Nation goes down.
So NRO made a really wise choice by starting Dragon there because of the 2 deaths that Worthy had in lane. Renata is level 3, just hit level 4. They already have level advantage. They were already there. Sejuani was on top side. It was perfect timing to just go for it, take it. And I don't know if I was Stoners, I don't think I would have taken that fight, especially being as late as they were. They had a pink on it. They saw the HP. There was no reason to walk in there. I think if they just sacrifice the dragon and get more of a lead in top side, it would have done them a lot of good.
And right now, what we were saying was they should really be trying to play through this top side again. They acquired this extremely strong top laner for a reason, and like you want to try to play through him, is even though he's very self-sufficient here. And good job again, Yukahu being able to get a little bit of trading off without having to take much damage or any damage at all himself. But back to the top side talk again, they should be trying to really play towards this top side, and Flame has been holding the lane this way the entire time, sitting on a 30 farm difference right now as the lead. In like, yeah, you know, experience wise, like they're both level 7, but it's still like a big difference, and it's not even the first back yet for this Fiora.
Yeah, and I think the first back is really what's going to dictate this lane, because she's going to come back with a Tiamat and probably more, which is going to be pretty difficult for Neil to actually keep up in terms of wave state and tower plating, just all that stuff. At this point, Fiora doesn't have to freeze anymore. She can just straight up take that advantage and shove it down Cassante's throat.
Hopefully, oh no, does the Sejuani have a sweeper yet? Not currently on cooldown because there's a ward on that top side. She's not looking to really gank anymore, backs off, and is seeing the Neferi as her primary target. Doesn't know that the lane is warded there, but is going to attempt to gank anyways. I'm not sure. Nope, not ultimate, not going to come out to try to attempt to catch the Neferi there. Just kind of press the pressure off and allow maybe Silas to get a little bit more farm.
We are starting to get the shove back. The Fiora wave is shoving into Cassante now. So Unfortunately, I don't think she'll be able to do much with this wave since Vi is on the top side, but Sejuani is also on the top side, which means we could be looking at a 2v2 situation, which could be really bad for the side of NRO.
I don't like the fact that Sejuani is actually like just kind of hovering towards the mid lane right now when it's looking like top is actually the better play. But now the Sejuani is going to end up being, Vi starts to rift. They now know that where Sejuani is, and they're going to be able to turn here, and Cocaine being able to be the first one locked on. If Boosted actually tries to engage you, they could just turn right onto him, and then that's going to end up being his death. I knew it! With the Sejuani ultimate also missing on both, the Vi ultimate ends up getting used. It was actually the fake Vi ultimate that was used trying to get away. Keanu going to have to flash over the wall, going to get him safely, and that's another kill over to the side of NRO. Once again, being there at the right place, right time. Hold on, ViQ not going to be able to go in, but just going to escape for himself. Flame now coming in to help his team out, trying to show how strong this Fiora is. Still hasn't backed yet, so that might not be a good idea for him here. It's currently 3 versus 1 as he's able to parry most of the CC. Cocaine going to be able to take out Keanu Reeves as he dashes in on him. Ezreal ultimate coming down, but now the Vi ultimate stolen as Boost is able to engage on the Cocaine, going into the middle of the entire team. Flame going to be ejected out of the team fight as he's right in the middle of 2 people, but CLG Word's going to be able to take a kill for himself right onto the jungler, but Niall going to be able to take out Flame, as even though with the advantage, he's able to take that kill for himself. A couple things going over, and we do have the first kill finally being acquired for the side of Stoner Nation, but right now NRO is still looking like a significantly stronger team.
Yeah, so they made a couple of mistakes there. They decided to not back their Fiora. Worthy tried to flash engage level 5 onto a, what was it, Vi? Who already had a kill, who already had the gold in her pocket, who could have, at that exact moment, just turned and punched her in the face. I think their best bet is to let Fiora just do side lane things and just give a whoa Danny Talker with a flash too.
Looked like he was trying to catch him, but unfortunately that's gonna don't worry, that'll only be in the VOD forever. But it's all good. You know, you can mess around a little bit like that when you're sitting ahead like this at the current moment. But again, we're hoping that something will be, oh wait, hold on, we're getting a little 1v1 finally, trying to see some of the power of Flame. Does he go ahead and keep engaging? Nope, just gets the Kisante to back off, but we now see the ultimate used by the Sejuani as it engages, but we see the Vi ultimate coming down. A whole entire fight is actually happening. Wait, CLG Worthy does, what were you doing in the middle of everybody, not able to get away with no flash up, so he is going down, and now the rest of the team is going down too. Keanu Reeves trying to take some damage as a double kill, goes over to the Vi, then, oh wow, an entire 3 for nothing down in that bot side. Jesus, man. Right now, NRO still looking real strong.
This is looking, not too healthy. They needed time to scale, and NRO is giving Stoners no time at all. They're just getting steamrolled at the moment, and it's really not
this is looking like a big oof indeed. Like it's not fun for them. Like you need like you said, everybody on the side of Stoner, they need time. They don't have it, and that's the problem. You're going up against a team that wants to really press they want to press the button on you every single moment that they have, because that's their strength, and you're not trying to like mitigate that.
Worthy just hit 6 just now. He's been trying to challenge Vision and team fights.
Hailstrom, I like what you're saying there. Big CS lead for Flame, but the map is on fire, and yeah, that's good choice giving it to Fiora, so they can just continue to give this side lane pressure to the Fiora overall. And I'm sure that, again, even though she's looking real strong, oh boy.
She needs to finish her mythic before she tries to fight Kisante, especially with the tank shred stats that gives you alone, and then her passive on top of it. It's just going to do so much work for her rather than the components and in the Sheen and the Caulfields. I think if I was her, I would run up, drop Rift, just for the plates here, back away, reset, grab her mythic, and come back strong. But it looks like she's getting ganked.
Yep, as the Vi ultimate comes out, but uses the parry to go ahead and negate all that damage, not even needing to use any other summoner to get away. Good job, Flame. Gonna have to maybe gonna back off? No, looks like he's gonna stay. That might not be good enough if they want to actually do another wraparound gank, knowing that he has no other way of getting away, except for the parry and the ghost. But everywhere else on the map, once again, I think they're just taking full advantage of the fact that they're so ahead. They don't really need to focus on too much. If they can start putting pressure on the Fiora and getting Cassante ahead, the one advantage that Stoner Nation had is going to completely start to falter.
I think Stoners just needs to give up this next dragon, play to their strength, play to their top side, let Fiora do what she needs to do, and hopefully then they'll have enough strength on their top side where if she does come to group, she can cause actual mayhem and give the side of Stoners enough time to get off the damage that they need and to make something happen, because right now they're just bleeding out slowly and it's not looking very positive for them.
And
Looking
as
for
we
the
see
short trades.
Yep, in these little trades. Oh wow, that's actually a decent amount of damage coming from the coming in from her dash there. Okay. So as you said, that getting the full item instead of just the components was definitely making the difference.
Oh, 100%. This is where Fiora starts to shine, and then she'll probably go to Hydra from here, and it'll give her the wave clear to actually shove waves fast enough and make a big enough difference on the map. So far, every lane down in experience besides Keanu. Keanu actually has a lead on his counterpart in terms of EXP.
And that's the thing, like Keanu's actually been doing pretty decent with like trying to have a presence in different places. It's just right now the team overall, again, they were just trying to play to the strength that they knew they had, which was just keep the constant pressure on even early game, and they've been able to do so. They just gonna have to be able to close this out before, once again, Flame's able to get off on his advantages, and then the rest of the team is able to scale up and start mitigating a lot of this early game lead that was built by this early game style type of team.
100%. And on the side of NRL, they definitely played to their strengths. They played through their bot side. They got their Ezreal ahead, they got their Swain ahead into the Ezreal, which we knew needed to happen for the side of NRL. They did that. Vi played perfectly in terms of pathing to get the lead for the mid lane and their bot side. I'm really excited to see how the later half of this game plays out. If they hold out, this Fiora could be such a big problem in the side lanes that they have to send multiples, and it gives Stoners enough of advantage in fights to actually contest these dragons, because they can't give the next one. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want to. This type of soul with the type of dragon combination that their team has, you don't want to end up giving this up. But I also see like it's looking like now they're starting to try to posture around the Fiora a little bit more, and I mean, yes, you want to do that, but at the same time, it's like just letting everyone kind of do whatever else they want in the lanes. It's not going to look good for you either, because they're still going to continue to get stronger.
Well, it looks like they're sending Silas bot side, which is good. They're going to start getting a little bit of side pressure because Silas is starting to turn on at this point. He has his Everfrost. Silas has levels. His W should be fully maxed out by now, with a few points in E, I think. So he's going to be a lot better at trading than he was in lane. So that's going to give them a little bit more pressure than before. Unfortunately, still down 40 CS.
Yeah, he hasn't really been able to stay in the lanes too long to farm it. Especially in that early game where like the first like 10 to 12 minutes, a lot of it was spent with a lot of fights, and we already see that there was 11 kills that were gathered up at that point. And the game has definitely slowed down significantly since that 12-minute mark. Like now we haven't seen another like real like fight or kills happen in the last 6 minutes. but I'm probably looking like they're trying to set that up now, it seems, as they almost managed to land that hook on a Keanu, but him just being slightly far away was able to get himself away. And then and then we now once again have a 1v1 going on in the top lane. Fiora not really being able to heal up anything due to the grievous wounds placed on them, but still able to shred a lot of this health right off of the Cassante. But now Direct Camera decided that nothing else was going on, so it decided to jump back right over here. So us seeing the lanes being pushed as Nefari's getting some damage from not even under the turret onto the Sylas. So Sylas just losing a lot of health there, trying to stop the wave from being pushed in.
Fiora really needs to finish this piece of lifesteal so she can just completely out-sustain her counterpart. I think that's going to be when we start seeing a big change in the side of top side. She's whittling down this turret, but it's just not fast enough for the side of Stoner Nation.
Right, it's not going fast enough where it's like Flame needs to be pushing a lot more pressure onto this, so then this is a lot easier to do. But now we see how Yukahu just ends up going in, and they also end up just jumping right on the Butter Toast. And right now, Cocaine going on to a killing spree to secure 9 kill, as well as Yukahu staying in the Swain ultimate, taking him down, but shut down. Keanu taking out the Nautilus, and shut down as Flame is able to take out Cocaine. And we're seeing the fight going, continuing as Flame almost ends up dying to Cassante as he ends up being able to barely get away. And now Red Team just jumping on to Yukahu. Yukahu just sticking within the Swain ultimate as he's just keeping them within tow. The red turret ends up getting destroyed, and Yukahu able to go ahead and maybe take one more. No, yes he does, barely, as he able to escape. The ultimate just never stops as long as they keep taking the damage. But now it's looking like the Swain ultimate stolen doesn't end up being able to take out the real, as it's a double kill going over to Yukahu. And now you know he's got to get away because Flame has returned, and now that Flame has returned, his Flame is going to keep sprouting and trying to grow even more on the Summoner's Rift. He said the map was on fire, but now Flame's on fire, getting that kill for himself in big shutdown.
That fight was so good for the side of Stoner Nations, even though it was NRO who decided to engage that with a Nautilus Q under tower. Followed it up by the Nefiri ult and dashing onto the Ezreal, securing the Ezreal kill, and then moving on with the Swain just drain tanking for so long and just holding on, keeping the pressure on. But unfortunately, Flame didn't die, so Flame teleported back in with the completed Hydra, the lifesteal he needed, and just picked up 2 more free kills, and that's going to give her so much pressure to take into the side lane. The pressure we said that she needed, she just got.
Hold on, here it comes. What you're talking about is the pressure here, as he almost manages to get the ultimate to finish, but not going to be enough as Cocaine's able to get away. And as we can see right now, Niall got boosted, caught under the turret with only the Nautilus ultimate taken, never frost used, but being caught under the turret means you take a lot of turret damage. The shield going to be able to save it just a little bit, just barely able to dodge out on that Swain W, and they're gonna keep trying to get more, but it's not gonna be enough. Also,
Dragon
right now,
is up.
Oh, the Q missing onto Flame. Flame just sitting there trying to call for him as he goes ahead and he tries to use it, but he's gonna be able to parry that down. But they all just go ahead and start targeting him. But that's just gonna be Kid Buu going in even more. But they're able to kind of mitigate all that and just back off. So it's looking like not anything else is gonna happen. They're just backing off from both ends of the fight.
Fiora ulti is coming up, and so is Sylas ulti, so there is a chance they could challenge this. Renata was the only person to use ulti in that fight.
But right now it's getting shredded down. I don't think they're going to be able to fight this. I think this is the Soul giving up. Yep, they at least attempted with the Ezreal ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. Soul going right over to NRO.
Unfortunately, it is an Ocean Soul, which is one of the stronger ones, and it's going to make Stoner or NRO so much harder to deal with their comp, with the Swain, with the Nefiri, and the Cassante. Just so much healing and so much damage mitigation.
And they said that just the Dragon is not enough. They're going straight for the Baron here too. But right now, Stoner Nation knowing that they can't just give up double objectives like that. They know that they're on it. But this one's not going down as quickly as the Swain ultimate gets stolen. Great ultimate to steal here as Flame goes right into the middle of their team. Parry is away, and he has the Renata W on him to try to keep him alive, but it's not going to be enough as Yukahu's able to take out Flame. And we're going to see right now that the boost is able to take out Kid Buu, and the fight is still going on, but when you got 2 Swain ultimates going on at the same time, what do? As the drain tanking is going to be able to be superior on the real Swain, and then also Nayel and the Cassante able to secure that double kill. 3 or 2 for 5 as we end up seeing NRO taking that fight, and now they're going to try to take the Baron for all their troubles.
You asked what they do. They send in the fairy and hit Q twice and watch people's health go away. Very simple. I love it. Unfortunately, that was a bad engage on the side of Stoner's Nation. A Flame got caught by a lot of CC and lost over half of his HP bar before the fight actually even started, pretty much. So they were just fighting from a disadvantage from then. I'd like to see them stop trying to teamfight and just put this Fiora where she needs to be, where she has the pressure. Because right now the rest of your team doesn't have anything that can actually deal with the Swain, with the Neferi, with the Vi diving, right? It's a hard place to be, and I feel like that's their best way to claw themselves back in the game.
Right, and again, like you said, like you gotta send her where she is. Like right now, we're seeing a Flame Horizon happen up in this top side. We're seeing that there's a clear advantage over there, but like there's not really much else being built by the rest of the team. It's like we're glad to see that they're able to get some more kills. They're able to bring in more, like they were able to bring in more gold and income to them, so they can actually be more competitive in these fights. And we're seeing them take people in this fights, even when they lose someone like Flame immediately at the very beginning. But it's just not proving to be enough, as we see that this team has gotten significantly ahead. We'll have to wait for more scaling if they can stick it out, as we're 25 minutes into the game, so we haven't seen everybody come up to full power just yet. We don't know if they're gonna be able to end this game by then. Again, only a few turrets have actually been taken right now, so we still have a chance for Stoner Nation to actually take some pride and be able to win this game. But right now, NRL is still looking extremely strong. And,
yeah,
wow.
Whoa.
But on Flame is actually chasing him down, and that's a lot of health taken. But Swain is here to back up his buddy, and I'm not sure if Nael's gonna keep trying to engage here. But we do see Swain flash in, try to get the Q, try to get the E, but not gonna be able to get him on there. He's gonna go ahead, try to slow him down. They're trying to keep catching Flame out here, but Flame is just gonna, I guess, fancy feed his way out of it. Oh wait, no, he's getting caught, but we get a whole caught out. 3v1 as Dainty Taco's just caught in the middle of everything. Keanu Reeves ended up taking the kill on the enemy support.
This is a little bit what I was talking about as well, is since Cassante can't keep up with the Fiora as much, they had to send 2. They had to stop him by sending 2, and guess what? That meant that they didn't have as much in the mid lane, and they just got a pick for free. And that's kind of what we need to keep seeing happen. And I think if they keep doing that, it's going to be looking a lot better.
At this point, it's get picks, mitigate, any more bleeding. And try to stem as much of the bleeding as we possibly can. At a currently 6k gold lead for the side of NRO as well. So we see a lot of that is probably decently distributed amongst the team, actually.
Yeah, and honestly, the items are pretty similar for the most part, besides like one item completed on the other side here and there. Fiora is working on her 3rd piece now, has 2 components. Probably going to be that split pushing item that I can't think of, Hullbreaker. And it's going to give her even more pressure for the side lane, and I hope that the side of Stoner's Nations can actually do something with that.
Looks like they showed that they know what they need to do with it previously a few moments ago, but now we just need to see if they can just be able to successfully repeat it over and over. And right now they do have a whole team here with Flame also being here as well. So Flame ended up getting caught by the Nautilus ultimate, not going to really make any use of it there for them on the side of NRO, so they're just going to back off as they don't want to allow this next Drake in the next 45 seconds to go up, because honestly, if one Elder Drake fight goes wrong and they get the Elder Drake, this could actually potentially end up being the game right here. Elder Spawn is coming up in about 30 seconds.
Cassante got his wave shoved in as well, and he has teleport to teleport down. He could get this tower just for safety's sake, And then
But hold
teleport
on, that Vi being denied, having to flash over the wall after being caught over by all the CC. But now Vi completely surrounded. If Kid Buu is being pushed out, this Elder Drake might actually end up being, this is the fight that Stoner Nation need. Oh wait, hold on, you guys are walking the wrong way. But the turret ends up getting taken as Keanu Reeves is pulled in and just caught out. Come on, the Renata ultimate landing on so many people, but the double Swain ultimate, who's gonna end up having to win it, as we end up seeing Kid Buu takes out the ADC, and Keanu trying to flash over the wall, not gonna mean anything. Whereas we see 3 members on the side of Stoners getting taken now as the Neferi jumps in and is able to go on top of getting a double kill from the Renata and the Silas, as Flame trying to run away for his life as he's the only surviving member of his team. They now have a choice, wait for Baron here, or they can just go straight for the Elder. No, they actually just want to push this turret and probably secure a turret and inhib at the same time.
I think they could actually go for the end here if they shove waves fast enough. They have Neferi and Swain. They can definitely look for it.
I don't think they're going to, seeing that both the bot laners are actually coming up in alongside with the jungler coming up in 3 seconds. So they probably don't want to fight that.
Just going Elder, secure it.
This is probably where they're going to end up trying to get the game-winning fight right here. So if Elder dies and then they try to contest the Elder and they turn, that's an immediate fight more than likely, and then boom.
And Boosted still doesn't have teleport. Even though he did just get up, he won't be here for this fight if they decide to challenge it.
Which is looking like they're going to. Fiora exhausted, caught in, parry away, ultimate used by the Swain. As we're seeing the ultimate come down, but Cocaine jumping on Renata, going on a rampage as Yukahu's able to take out Flame. And we're seeing the kills coming on, double kill as it goes right onto the Fury and the Vi taking out Keanu. A perfect ace, clean sweep of a team fight, and the Elder Drake is theirs, and that's looking like potentially the game.
Unfortunately, they just were just too far behind to actually even consider fighting that, I guess. Flame got CC'd immediately out of the gate in that fight. Meanwhile, they had Swain and Neferi on the backside, focusing the Ezreal, focusing the Renata, and making sure that they go down first. And it's hard to split your attention between those 2 different fights, especially with all of your gold being on one person.
Exactly. And right here, we're gonna see them try to potentially save the game, but no, we're gonna see NRO taking game 1 here in a very decisive, very decisive victory. Like, very well done.
I would have to agree. Total domination for the most part, besides a little bit of topside, but even still, Cassante was holding his own. He was trading with the Fiora. He still had, he was down like 100 plus CS. He still had almost equal items. And pressure, and his impact in team fights was so much more.
Oh man, it was looking like they had a mission with Stoner Nation, and again, it's always easiest to like, again, we like to pick the easier to execute comps, but right here we saw Solo Q win it out. Definitely want to give some honestly, it's really hard to pick like a real MVP for this game because everyone did very well. I might want to give it
to Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did his job. He like I said, all you had to do is sit between bot and mid and make sure one of those lanes had a lead, and he did that perfectly. He got both kills on bot and mid and multiples in bot as well. He applied even pressure in topside when he didn't have to, and when they should have just given that lane up.
So I'm gonna have to say props to you, Kid Buu. You did very, very well there. Again, the whole team did very, very well, and it did definitely props to Niel for being on the Cassante, being able to alleviate a lot of that pressure that was being placed on you by Flame. You did very, very well in that sense, and again, you were definitely a very big effect to your team. And Dainty definitely on some very crazy plays with the flash hooks and such, trying to really get engage and get certain fights started. And that just allowed him to keep the pressure on. So, again, all around good job to NRO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shall we take it to a break while we get ready for Game 2 draft?
All right, heading over to a break. All right, we are back. Getting into the lobby, getting set up. Nat Radialis took game one. We were able to do the payout on the prediction.
I got robbed.
How did that make you feel?
Hurt. It felt unjust, honestly.
Wallet feeling a little bit lighter now.
Not that there was much in it to begin with.
Ouch.
Oof. Yeah. My 270 points well spent. Apparently not.
Jeez, just put more lemon juice in the wound. Why don't you?
I prefer not. Lemon sucks.
How about salt instead then?
Eh,
Just rub it up in there.
please don't.
All the salt.
So before we get into draft, what are you guys looking to see
I'm
this next
looking.
game?
I'm looking to see a more potential. My brain is freezing. I want to see them play more onto the side of topside and play towards their salary. Much harder.
I'm gonna say this. Speaking of salt, I want to see a salty run back for Stoner Nation on even the composition, because truthfully, I don't think the composition that they had was actually an issue. It was just not playing to the strength of the composition, in which like we saw like a small glimpse of what they possibly could do with their comp, and then it was like, oh yeah, see, that's exactly what they need to do right there, and it just never kept happening on the repeat or at times where they needed to make those advantages happen. So, like, if they can just, like you said, play to their salary, and to enable that, they would need Flame on a carry once again. So, right now, based upon the picks and bans, we might potentially still Nation. They're going to end up running it back once again.
The Viban.
Ooh,
Interesting.
So, respect ban right there.
I definitely think that the Swain should be also higher up on that ban list.
I actually fully agree.
The Renekton ban again from the side of NRO. Interesting. Not looking to
They really don't want to give any potential like carry to Flame, in that sense of like, oh, like if you give him Renekton, like we know that Renekton is extremely strong carry top laner, so you don't want to give
There's
that
the
up.
Swain ban. That's what I
Thank
wanted to
you.
see.
Thank you. That champion is so strong right now. I don't know where that came from out of nowhere.
I would agree with the carry thing, but like at the same time they gave him Fiora, and it just nothing happened with it. And Fiora is one of those champions where if she gets a lead in lane, she can run over an entire game just through split pushing alone, and then take that into team fights later on when you need to fight for those dragons, when you need to fight for those, early objectives.
And I like seeing how another champion. So they end up banning out the Lucian, leaving up the Maokai, and Stoner Nation says immediately we're taking that. And I really like seeing this pick. Very very good when it comes to like enabling team fights and having an extremely good far range engage with the ultimate at the end there, and then him being a tank, and then also being able to flex it. You can literally go jungle, top, or support with it. So they have many different ways that they can bring this Maokai into it. And in response, they put up the Gwen on the side of NRO.
And that's definitely going to Kid Buu. 100%. He's been playing it. He's been doing really well on it. I'm really excited to see how he does in this game with it. I'm just honestly excited to see how they change up the draft to accommodate what their goals are.
Like that with the Gwen being able to easily proc it, they're kind of going for the same type of thing that they had last with Stoner Nation, where like easily proccable, probably like really melee dominant type of champions. So bringing the Braum on, really good response for that.
Luckily, Braum doesn't need a melee champion to proc his stuff. Range, melee, don't matter.
Well,
You
that's
get
true.
hit
Then
4
auto, you're
stacks.
right. You're right.
Oof.
You're right. I was still thinking of the concept of that last game with the Sejuani. So you caught my brain on that, definitely. And oh no, please don't pick Azir. But we do have a Corki pick on the side of Stoner Nation.
I hope they pick Azir. I want to see it.
Don't pick Azir.
Do it.
Don't do it. I'm not here for the. I'm not here for the. I'm not here for Worlds. Okay. And okay. Yep. We're going to Worlds, guys. Here comes Kaisa.
I'm really excited for this draft, honestly. So many Azirs last week. Yes.
I mean, I like seeing it. Stoner Nation said we need to come out with the guns full blazing. Pull out the AKs, pull out the ARs, get the bazooka, get the whole army, get the navy. We need to win this game. So we're pulling out some extremely strong picks that we know can potentially like run over, whether singly as like singular champions or as an overall team. And they definitely have more team fight cohesion. And in response, they definitely want to make sure that they can easily make this bot lane work in a good combo with Ashe and Braum, but also overall the team having good information and also really good far range engage in response to Maokai with the Ashe ultimate.
So we're sure these guys didn't swap. Like this is the correct thing, right? Because they just swapped from playing aggressive on the side of NRO to playing passive, and then the Stoner Nation went from playing passive to aggressive. I'm confused.
I think it's gonna be very determined on where this Maokai ends up going. Again, they didn't give up the flex on the side of Stoner Nation, and they're still not giving up the flex with their bans. As we see the Rumble getting banned out from the side of NRO, and then responds with the Yone getting banned, which is another potential champion that can actually carry a game if it starts getting rolling. So I think at this point, it's just where this Maokai ends up going is going to really determine how one of the lanes is completely played. And I think that I think the bot side was like, we have to be careful because we don't know exactly who we're going up against. And then to round out the bans, Fiora banned for the side of NRL, and then Neferi banned on the side of Stoner Nation.
If I had to take a guess at where this Maokai was going, I'd have to say jungle. Because it seems like something that would suit Keanu, unless they're going to play around Keanu and Flame, by having him support and just, I guess, having Keanu on a carry champion like is his normal style, and then having Flame also on a carry champion might be suit the Yasuo.
Ooh,
That's spicy. Are they gonna round it out with a Malphite? Could they a Malphite or an Orin? That could be so good for them, especially for their team fight. Layer the Braum, layer the Yasuo ulti, the Malphite ulti, and just let Ash sit in the back and auto and slow permanently the Jarvan.
Taking away also a potential counter too. With having the Yasuo on their side, there's no way of blocking any of this like potential damage coming from the Ashe either, and also protecting the Ashe even if she stays behind it from some of this AD and mixed damage coming from both Kaisa and Corki. And I like it. So yeah, we're looking like we're gonna see a support Maokai here as the Aatrox is going to the top side, and the jungler is actually going to be a Jarvan. Let's see how they respond on the side of NRO.
I'm not sure I like the Maokai into the Braum matchup, just because you can't really.
In.
You go in, you get stunned, you die really fast. You stay away, you get stunned, you die really fast.
And think about it, you also have Kaisa, who is also generally a more short range AD carry. So if you have them trying to fight into that, that's going to be kind of difficult to fight into an Ashe Braum, honestly. If Maokai decides to go in, Braum just has to auto attack him to basically get the proc off. You get permaslowed by both of these champions. Jeez, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty difficult bot lane. I'm saying the bot lane is probably one on the side of NRO just by concept-wise at this current moment. If it is, again, once again, it looks like Maokai is going to the support role. I'm very curious to see how this Gwen versus Jarvan matchup is going to go. It'll be very, very interesting. But the top side matchup is just going to be, it's Aatrox Malphite. So let's see if the top side on NRL is going to be able to, or Nail is going to be able to mitigate a lot of that carry potential from Aatrox. Aatrox is another one that is like a low key, like when people pull it out, it's like, oh crap, we forgot this champion existed. It's like a Lowy to me, like you see someone pull out a Lowy, he's like, oh, it shouldn't be so bad. Not everyone plays that champion, but then all of a sudden you're like, wait, why is my whole team getting ran through right now? It's not okay.
Oh yeah. See, when I see Aatrox, all I picture is I'm mad now. I want to win. That's what I see from the Aatrox pick. But on the side of Stoner Nation's bot side, I would really like to see. This is my personal opinion. I would like to see Kaisa go the Drakthar build, the Duskblade of Drakthar, and just lethality in general, because it gives wave clear, and you're not going to be able to engage on the side of this bot side, especially with Ashe Braum. It's going to be super hard to even try and fight there without jungle pressure. I think you just go wave clear and you just scale up, since you're a big part of your team's damage as Kaisa for the side of AD, besides the Aatrox, I guess, right? I do like the Jarvan pick. It's very controlling, and obviously we see it a lot at Worlds. It has a lot of boons, it has good engage, it has lockdown, it has a wall that people can't run from without flashes or dashes, right? An attack speed steroid, and just like general dueling capabilities. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of dueling between Jarvan and Gwen in the early game, and then 2v2s probably as well, from both top and mid 2v2s for sure.
I definitely want to say you pointed out something when you said that when you see Aatrox, you imagine just saying like, "I'm mad, I want to win." I think that's the idea from the side of Stoner Nation. Again, currently the team is 0-2. It's currently week 3. They need to show that they definitely have that they're a strong team. They make a couple of changes over the season already, and they're just trying to find what best works for their team. And I think right here, this comp is definitely going to show that they play a wide range. This is a completely different type of composition from what they were playing last game, and I'm really hoping that they're able to show that they definitely have the potential here. But again, we see another easy to execute comp from the side of NRO, and they're definitely, once again, they're playing to win their lanes. And I definitely see like you can definitely see like potentially jungle and bot being the winning factors here for this side of NRO. And again, if the Malphite and the Yasuo are able to work in conjunction with one another, like you could have put an Ornn in that spot and it would have still worked just as fine. So it's looking pretty interesting right now for this game. I definitely see a bigger win factor for the side of Stoner Nation, but NRO definitely looking like they want to just close this out and make this a 2-game series.
Yes, sir. And do we have countdown going on right now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
And with that, shall we take a short break then?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
like
we
we
can.
can.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
We will march into the night. Let the fear sink in their eyes. We will roar our battle cries. The oath we shall carry strong. Rally up the souls and shields. Fight into the bloodiest fields. For the honor high decree. The heavens is on our side. We will march into the night. Let the fear sink in their eyes. We will roar our battle cries. The oath we shall carry strong. Rally up the souls and shields. Fight into the bloodiest fields. For the honor high decree. The heavens is on our side. We will march into the night. Whoa. Let the fear sink in their eyes. Whoa. We will roar our battle cries. The oath we shall carry strong. Rally up the souls and shields.
Oh,
There we go. Yeah, let's
All
get
right.
into game. Come on, everybody in the chat right now. The game is getting started. I want to see you guys cheering. I want to see you guys voting for who's going to win. As we see in the prediction polls, with the last 10 seconds of the predictions up, it is 1.3 to 1K. It's very even in who's going to win right now. And real quick, I see a couple cheers for NRO. I see people going in for the Stoners. Go ahead and once again, keep cheering for the teams. Keep giving your team, your friends, your favorite players, some real cheers, some real love here in the game. As we see a current setup and a little envy going on as they don't know that Kid Boo's there, but Boosted is stepping up as Kid Boo tries to get a little damage off, but they get a little ward and they know right now where Kid Boo's gonna end up starting.
I like this play. It's very standard. It's the 3-man invade and ward drop. It's so big for the pacing of your game for the side of name.
Stoner.
Stoners, thank you. And it'll dictate. Oh, they're even going for more. They're going for the full-on buff.
They're holding off right here. They're gonna step up with Kid Boo coming in, but Nayel gonna have to back off on this Malphite as gets the second Q, but the third Q gonna end up missing. They're trying to push in, but right now, thank you Cocaine for being there, trying to help out with Kid Boo. Kind of hovering, so it would have ended up being a 3v2 there immediately, and that could have been a real quick turnaround.
I think even though that neither team got the red buff and they both started late, I think that was still in total a win for the side of Stoners, because they got the vision off and they know exactly where Kid Boo is going to be, especially while she's passing as well. And they chunked Neil. Sorry.
You're right. That's some really good, valuable, information gained in level 2 being gained on both sides right now. As the one more stack, Worthy does being able to step away, not gonna end up catching that first part of a actual Braum stun and a little bit more of an engage. I do really like what we're seeing here, and we're getting a little love to Worthy does being called a godly support here by Scotty Mellon. Thank you for the love, as we're seeing a little fighting going on in the mid lane as well. I like all these trades going on right now.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Flame is playing more aggressive on this Aatrox as well, showing more oomph in his pack, and just emphasizing why he has the salary difference and showing who's the man.
Geez, look at that chunk of health coming out of him, only right there at level 3 versus level 2. Nayel, hopefully you're going to be able to do exactly what you did on the Cassante last time here, able to mitigate a lot of this pressure. You already know what the salary difference is. Go ahead and show them that salary does not matter.
Coming back strong with the short trading going on in mid, which is really cool to see.
Ooh, wait a second, we got the Jarvan down here. Flash engaged, cleanse used, having to get away Yukahu, but the flag drag not gonna be able to land. The ignite dropped on Yukahu. Yukahu stepping away. Dainty Taco gonna have to keep walking away. Really good gank happening here. A lot of sums ends up being used, both blown immediately on the Ashe, but not gonna be able to secure anything there. But good job, Keanu, being able to make sure they take a lot of pressure off of this bot lane.
I think this is really good because they got both of Ashe's summoner spells, and you can see Keanu getting ready for a wrap. 100%.
He ends up going for his Krugs instead. Yukahu's still here. I don't think it's a good idea. Even if you have the information on the Jarvan, you should not be chilling here. Definitely, especially with no sums.
Oh, the Gwen is invading the Jarvan. We might have a little bit of a skirmish here.
Let's see what ends up happening. I guess Jarvan decides that, knowing that the sums are there, he can make the wraparound gank at any point in time. So he's just going to kind of stop the Gwen from invading. But he does have Boosted scooping down here, trying to help out his jungler. He's trying to take away some of this jungle camp for himself, but you got 2 people on you. That's a lot of damage coming from this Corki. Jeez, I forgot how good this champion can be when dropping out on them.
Looks like Flame got the wave into tower and bounced back, which means he's set up for another hard freeze potential in another game, and he's going to pressure and shove that lead as far as he can go this time.
And we're already seeing it starting to stack, a 23 farm difference up here in the top side.
At so 5 minutes.
This has got to be annoying to see. But we do see Keanu once again coming towards this bot side, knowing he wants to take the advantage. And with Gwen backing, they don't even know. So Keanu waiting here as he just goes ahead and backs himself. Might not even want to go ahead and even try to engage here. Oh, nope, he stopped his back. So he's just gonna sit and wait. If he can make the wraparound gig. Yep, immediate flash engage, flag and drag goes on. Worthy does immediately, but ends up missing. But Yakuhu in the wrong place. That's gonna end up being a kill. First blood going right over to Duck Butter Toast. Good job over to Stoner Nation. Good use of knowing that the sun was down, so you just immediately had to go right onto the Ash.
I really like the timing too. They waited till
Oh wait, we got another fight here as the flash has to be used to get away from the ulting Aatrox. Niel definitely gonna have to call that out there, but your flash is down now, so you don't have much of an escape. Oh, look at this here, Duck Butter Toast definitely engaging a lot of damage right on to Dainty Taco, but using the E to be using Unbreakable. What it's called. Let me try to actually call the abilities out what they're called to be able to mitigate a lot of that damage.
at least you know the names, because I don't.
So,
I just know the ability.
Yeah, and even then sometimes I get those confused.
True. Looks like casual stuff coming in from the side of mid. They're even in farm. They're both playing just to shove out waves. And so far, it looks like neither side has the advantage. They're just basic laning.
Aside from just the 1k gold lead, that's probably all on Flame right now, if I'm being honest with you, when you're looking at a 34 farm difference.
100%.
Yeah, so that whole advantage right now is just sitting on Flame, and that's what I'm very concerned about once again, because this is what we saw last time. A big advantage being built in the top side from the side of Stoner Nation, but unfortunately all of a sudden the rest of the map just ends up collapsing into a pyramid, like literal hell. And it was just, we don't want to end up seeing that again. Instead, we need to see Flame really pressing the fact that he has the advantage, and then also them utilizing that too. Like, there's not much this Malphite can really do into this Aatrox right now at the current standpoint of the game.
On the bright side, Kaisa does have a kill, and she is only down 6 CS, so she does have, like, what is it, like a 20 CS lead technically? Or 15-ish? Something like that. Anyway, she does have a little bit of gold, which does even out the side of Stoners. It's going to help so much in you know, surviving into the point where your Aatrox can just sit in side lane and dominate. And
I wanted to call out at the point they were like, oh, we can actually try to utilize our advantage with Flame here. Oh, look at that. Ash arrow is going to end up hitting the Jarvan from a far range, but it's not going to be anybody who's going to be able to make any advantage.
Yeah,
He's walking up to him. He's going to be able to dash into the Jarvan. He is sitting at 3 levels above him, too. He's going to try to fight for this, but the flag and drag is going to get him away. Can he actually land it blind? No, he's going to not. Is it going to be a flash over the wall? Ends up being a kill going over the Cocaine.
He's going for 2.
He's going to immediately into boosted, but it's going to be going away as right now Niel's trying to fight against Flame, having to use this unstoppable ultimate to get away, but it's not going to be enough as Flame gets the solo dolo kill on the top against Niel.
That is so good for the side of Stoners, especially since Aatrox, like we said, is going to be a major part. It sucks that Keanu did die, and it looks like he is getting his red buff taken as well. But we don't need Jarvan to have the gold, right? Jarvan's fine goldless. He's fine doing, you know, his thing. This show will be run by Aatrox, and if not, it will be run by Yasuo. We'll find out at 2 items.
Oh man, every time I hear the Aatrox like ults, like the scream he does, it's just this is just not gonna be a fun time. I already see where the advantages are being built, and like Jarvan, even though yes he's sitting down behind Kid Buu at the current moment in the farm difference, he's just, the presence that he has on the map has been significantly like more. And yeah, they got the first Drake on the side of NRO, but there's still again a much, like, even though he was on the wrong side at the wrong time, it was only the first Drake, so he's not too worried about it. It just makes all the difference, and they're really trying to play to the advantages that they need.
And the bright side about them picking Aatrox as well this time is Aatrox has a lot better utility when it comes into team fighting. He's a lot better for it. He has AoE, he has lockdown, you know, he has a lot of sustain. He's just a team fighting and solo lane master. Whereas Fiora, yeah, she can provide a lot of damage, but there's not a lot of stuff she can do in the mid game when it comes to team fighting. So I think this is going to be a lot better pick for them.
And you're
Wait.
definitely showing that difference. Maybe the Aatrox would have been a better ban over the Fiora here. Because right now we're looking at it almost a 70 farm difference in this top side. So many plates going over. Rift Herald being dropped. They are building
They're
such a
looking to
big
finish the
advantage.
tower.
Oh, definitely. You had the first blood going off on the bot side, and now you got the first turret going over top side, but you have the arrow hitting from far distance as it goes immediately in. Ultimate used by both the Yasuo and the Malphite, being able to drop down on Keanu Reeves and Kid Buu being here as the Aatrox trying to get away, but the slow is being dropped. He's not going to be able to do it. Oh, yes, he is. The 3v1s, but everything missing. Him having a flash to be able to get away. Them being able to turn that around, even though they're sitting behind. All that gold going into Aatrox is going to be an immediate problem. I know they were hoping to get that kill.
I mean, that arrow, godlike. Just gave enough time for Yasuo to walk up, Kid Buu to rotate, Malphite to walk up, just secure the kill on Jarvan, and it's, I mean, what can I say except for, you know, money. And
that's all you can want.
They definitely need it being down 3,000 gold, and majority of it is being Aatrox. For that, almost a 1,300 gold lead in top side alone.
1,700 actually when I'm looking at that path.
Yeah, brain is not good.
And you look at it and it's like, but then you look at the differences between the other like laners and such, and it's like it's not much of a difference at all. There's about a 200 to 100 gold difference between the bot laners, a 100 gold difference between the mid laners. You're looking at about only 300 gold difference between the junglers, and a 300 gold difference between the supports. The gold spread is actually very in a good advantage for NRO, even though it looks like immediately that they're behind. Once again, all this gold is subjected to that top laner. So if they're able to actually make some type of advantage happens, boom, NRO is going to end up starting to run this game over, and then Aatrox is going to have a hard time. As we saw, he's not at that point where he can just 1v3. He almost got taken out. If he didn't have his flag, that could have been his death. And hold on right here as we go ahead and see in a fight, the flag and drag having to be used for Keanu Reeves to get out. And already we're starting to see how when they're going up against them without this Aatrox, there's some strength behind NRO.
Yeah, you said that he couldn't take that 3v1, but now he has Gore Drinker. Now he can take any amount of fight because Aatrox with
the TP from under immediately with the Worthy Dust using the ultimate, it being blocked by Yasuo, Tornado being missed, only one being used, but Keanu Reeves using the wall as we see Flame coming in, and he's using that advantage as he gets the kill, double kill as Aatrox is going in. He's now trying to hit for the Quadra as he gets the triple, but Cocaine trying to fight at the bottom side as Jarvan ends up taking it. Keanu Reeves getting a kill for himself. That's 4 kills over to the side of Stoner Nation, and that's also going to be the Drake. Good job going over to him, and they're showing some damn good fights in this game.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, that Aatrox being so much of a better team fighter. And he got that, got his mythic, and he came in and he just took over that fight completely. Hit those multiple Qs, hit his third Q, watched people's health just disappear.
And look at that. I know right now they're sitting there cheering him on. This is looking like an MVP type of a play. We talked about it before, and they gave it to him, and they were like, you know, we saw the potential with the Fiora, but we needed something better, and you keep pointing it out, the differences that it made for their team. And now we're seeing Stoners definitely putting some real fight into this game.
I like this side of I like this side of Stunners. They should have led with this side. It just looks so much better in terms of cohesionness and just the ability to play with your salary and give your salary where you put all your money the lead he needs to actually, you know, do what he needs to do, and that is destroy the side lane, come in team fights with that gold lead, and walk over the enemy team.
Now let's just hope that the rest of his team is able to make something happen with the fact that the Aatrox is putting so much pressure on this top side. And not even really able to leave the lane and able to make anything happen. Can't farm, can't stack items. He's just going to have to hope to try to be that factor that he was on the Cassante in the last game. But this Aatrox is being so much stronger. It is just not fun for him.
No, and he's so much CS up. He has his completed mythic. He has a hammer. And on the side of Malphite, he has a chain vest and a Kindle gem, and then a cloth armor. It's hard to defend against that, right? It's just permanently shoving. He has AoE to shove the wave. He has the damage to bully you while you're in lane. Even under tower, he will bully you. They need to send someone up ASAP to alleviate the pressure that Flame is pulling. If they don't, they're going to be looking at a destroyed top side.
And it's looking like it's going to end up just being single-handedly destroyed. But right now, the rest of the team is trying to help push this top side even more, as Keanu Reeves is here, as well as literally Maokai. But you do have the support from the side of NRL trying to help support their top laner. But we do see Cocaine trying to make something happen, as this bot side is just being pushed in on this turret here. Don't know how the 1v1 right now is between Cocaine and Boosted, but we will possibly get to see something happen. Instead, maybe Boosted is going to let the bot tower fall, and that's going to be a little bit of more gold going to the side of NRO, which is very well needed at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, if NRO actually get to the point where they're able to scale into things with the Ashe, the Yasuo, the Wombo combo, the ulti block from Braum, right? They're going to look and feel a lot better, especially if they do get to lock down Flame. I think they just need to hold on a little bit longer, and hopefully we'll be able to see that at a dragon fight, because Rift no longer there.
Well, this game, again, is not even as bloody as the last game. We had 11 kills by 10 minutes. So this game right now sitting at 8 kills at 16 minutes. So literally 0.5 kills per minute. It's not really a game that I expect. Hold on real quick, because Kid Buu is just engaging onto Corki, but Corki able to easily get away, so we didn't really need to keep paying attention to that. But it's just like, this is definitely a less bloody game, and I think right now NRL knows that they need to play it significantly slower. They need the Malphite to start stacking up the armor. They need Ashe and Yasuo to start scaling up a bit. They need Gwen to get to a certain point where she's extremely strong and she's able to help shred. They need to be able to, again, hold down Flame and be able to lock him down. This 4-0 Aatrox is looking like a problem. And now we just seen that Jarvan has also picked up the Gore Drinker, so he's gonna also have a bit of sustain in the fights as well, making it much harder to kill. This is actually looking very dire right now from the side of NRO.
Yeah, and we definitely can't forget the fact that Corki package is a thing, right? Yeah, it doesn't spawn that often, but it has massive impact in team fights, especially when the enemy team is going for his team fights and they're already at a disadvantage.
Speaking of package,
looks like we're going for the dragon fight with package.
Well, hold on, Cocaine, you might need to back up a little bit further. Yep, they got the package ready for the dragon fight. This is a Hextech Drake, another really strong one that you don't want to end up giving up a soul for. And we're literally seeing a complete swap in the way that these two teams are playing. Hold on, we got the TP coming in from Malphite from the Yasuo here.
Braum is down.
They have no actual. Alright, so unless the Malphite gets here. Nope, they end up taking the Drake anyways, so that kept at bay, not even able to do anything. Stoner Nation looking good.
Yeah, they wasted ultimates in mid lane. I feel like if they were going to commit to trying to pick the Aatrox, they should have definitely blown Ashe Arrow with the Braum ultimate, and it could have been possible. They were positioned to do it, and Ashe does have at least Kraken Slayer. She does a pretty good amount of damage.
Right, and it would have been hard for Aatrox to actually get away while being perma-slowed completely, and then they could have definitely double-stacked stuns as long as they laid the CC properly, again, between Braum and the Ashe. They have a lot of lockdown potential, and that's something I think that NRO needs to be able to take a couple more chances with for themselves. Is not just, if we lock someone down, who can we target? You have potential multiple targets that you can actually slow and lock down and maybe force them to back off because they need to be able to get away or something. There's a lot of different factors that can be going on here.
Am I crazy, or did Yasuo have Static Shiv and now he has Kraken Slayer?
That's a very good question, and it might actually, the answer might be open. Hold on, Ash able to get away here. As here comes Niel on the Malphite. They're trying to run away. They don't know if Yasuo is here ready to engage onto them. Niel is going to definitely have to try to aim for one of the big carries. Probably, obviously, Flame. But I don't know if right now he's looking like a almost tanky too, with both that Sterix gauge and also the damage mitigation from the Ninja Tabbies. So he's going to be kind of hard to kill at this point.
Yeah, NRO definitely needs to start working on their deep vision a little bit, pushing in bit by bit so they can look for pick potentials with the Ashe ulti, with having the Gwen and the Malphite ulti, as well as the Yasuo follow-up. I feel like if they start looking for picks in jungle, it'll be a little bit easier to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, I haven't really seen a whole lot of Hawk shots either coming out. Maybe I'm not paying attention to them as much, but definitely not seeing a lot of them used other than when objectives are pretty much up. So it's like that's also like some denial of information for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Hawkshot should also almost always be used in a diagonal pattern, because if you can do that, you can almost always spot out where the jungle is, because it's crossing the entire jungle and it hits every single camp. Good information gathering. Looks like they're setting up to cut off this Aatrox.
And I mean, they have the potential to do so, and Aatrox stopped his own back. I don't think Dainty's gonna want to walk up here. You know, getting that vision is definitely worth it. It's definitely something you want to do, but like right there, knowing potentially the Aatrox could be there, never worth it.
I think they need to send the Yasuo on the bottom side to create pressure for themselves. I mean, he does have teleport. He should be there just hard shoving to try and match the Aatrox hard shove on top side and hope the Malphite is strong enough to just hold out while you get objectives in the bottom side.
And see, that's another thing too. Like, it's not like this is a 1 in 10 Yasuo that we tend to make the jokes about a lot in our solo queue games and in the league community in general. Like, this is a 1-1-1 Yasuo with a decent amount of farm, being able to match up with the Corki. Once he actually gets items, it's actually going to be very difficult. Like, Yasuo is definitely one of those champions that, like, you see him, like, once he actually gets items, it's really hard to kill him. He's just able to, like, just somehow steamroll a game.
Look
and
at
you
the
just
hover.
never understand why. Oh, yep, they got their team ready. They're trying to make sure that nothing can happen here.
Keanu is doing a lot better job of shadowing Flame and making sure that the enemy team can't pull any stuns on Flame, while he's in such a exposed position, if you will. I do think that they need to start sending Duck Butter Toast mid and shoving a little bit harder to actually be able to keep pressure with the Aatrox so he's not as exposed. It is looking like Ludens and Sork boots for Corki though. So
that's gonna hurt.
It's yeah, poke is definitely going to hurt. I'm not sure if I really like the AP build coming out from Corki, because as far as I know, I'm pretty sure they nerfed that build, correct, a while ago. I feel like sometimes it's almost better to go AD with the pen items.
But you do have the but like, considering the AD coming from the Kaisa and then the AD that you're getting from both Aatrox, and then I think he wanted to try to go more towards that mix build to give them at least a little bit more of like. Corki's always been that champion that is like you never knew what to exactly build against, because he kind of always did a lot of that mixed damage.
Well, they changed him a while back, where no matter what you build, 80% of his damage is always converted into AP damage. So it doesn't matter what you build on him now. The Ludens build was mainly for the CDR and the pen with the splash damage.
That's another Drake gone right here.
Whereas the AD build was more directed towards sustained damage and team fighting, I think would be the best way to put it. This is the package, so they are starting Baron since they have so much pressure from Flame alone. If they send all of their team to Flame, they get this Baron for free, where vice versa. Oh, the arrow hits.
Ash Arrow ends up hitting, Gwen ends up going in, Worthy Dust ends up being shredded down as Cocaine is in the middle of two of them, and he ends up getting taken out by Boosted. But then Worthy Dust ends up getting taken out by Kid Buu. As Kid Buu trying to run away, the extra damage to one more auto is going to be just enough as the comes out and Keanu Reeves ends up getting taken out while they end up losing the support. Mid lane and jungle lost on the side of NRO, and that's the Baron.
The TP from Flame was good. I definitely think so. But I also think they could have actually taken that fight without Flame being there. 100%. They had the side of NRO had too many players out of position, and the other half wasn't quite caught up. So by the time they even came close, the two enemies, Yasuo and Gwen, were already well too low in order to fight. He could have gotten bottom tower for free. And it looks like they're sending Aatrox back into the bottom lane and Corki into the top lane. They're going for a 1-3-1.
And they can actually afford to do that, like having Corki getting more ahead, like not by kills, but just simply getting the CS that they need, putting a lot more into this. So they have a lot of carry potential. They brought the guns out, and right now Stoner Nation looking like looking completely different from the last game.
Oh, 100%. They seem much more comfortable in this game compared to game 1. And it looks like they're sending forward to deal with the Aatrox. Here comes the Malphite ulti.
Oh, the flash used. Stomp not going to be able to get him, but they're still chasing down. It's 4 people trying to get him. Come on, Malphite ultimate. Slow. Gonna go in. Malphite ultimate used. Yasuo ultimate dropped, and is Flame going to finally do it? Flame not going to be able to 1v4 as he gets dropped, but now you got 3 barreling down as the TP's coming up as Yasuo goes immediately to the top lane to answer on the Corki, but you have 3 barreling in the mid lane as it's just against a Yukahu as he's trying to go ahead. But now here comes Nayel to help him out. Ash Arrow uses it, lands right onto Worthy Dust with the flag and drag, flashed away by Keanu, used on Keanu, flashed away by Yaku, and good with the ultimate, and is just gonna be able to allow Duck Butter Toast to get that damage as Yuku goes down to Worthy Dust, and Daisy Taco's gonna go down to Duck Butter Toast. Is now 4v2 as Cocaine is trying to make something happen, but Nayel gonna have to also flash away, or not Nayel, but Cocaine gonna have to flash away as Nayel barely gets away, and it's not gonna be enough, but they're just gonna be able to look for the end as a 2v3. They think that Cocaine, actually a 4v3 or 4v2, and I'm thinking that right now, if he was able to land that, maybe be able to go in with his ult and get a little something down onto Boosted, but since they think they can't do it, they rather just back off. Stoner Nation gonna end up taking another back for themselves, but dealing some goddamn damage to the base.
I like this play and I dislike this play at the same time. They definitely have the timers and the damage in order to end, but I understand wanting to play safe and get the secured win and not risking, not risking, you know, giving them the comeback and giving them the gold that they need, the shutdown, in order to make their way back into this game.
And again, I like seeing them finally like convene a whole entire like Super Squadron to go after Flame, but that did allow a big chunk of damage to be done. But if those TPs didn't come in and people didn't back when they did, that probably would have been the entire game loss. Oh, yep, and we got the Ashe ultimate being used immediately onto Flame, the ultimate being used by Flame to try to get away as we get 4 members on as the Gore Drinker heals him up a lot, but he can't sustain against 4 members. Cocaine, once again taking another kill. I think they finally realized what needs to be done here to potentially win this game. Without Flame, can we actually see them can they actually 5v4 against the side of NRO? Is it really a big goal difference that we see on screen? A 6.5k goal or a 7.5k goal difference by the side of Stoner Nation, but is it really gonna mean anything? Is it just all on Flame? This is gonna be a big proof here, but once again, even though it's sole point here for the side of Stoners, they don't necessarily need to take this Drake. They could possibly give this up and just go ahead and let other things happen along the map while they're trying to focus this Drake down for themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately for the side of Stoner Nation, Flame was died.
Oh,
and
hold on. He's looking to try to get this steal. He jumps in with the ultimate as the TP comes in. An objective bounty has been claimed as Braum is able to take the Drake. And this is now a big fight coming on as they jump on. Kaisa getting shut down by Nayel, but Flame is in the background, and he's going to end up taking you downtown. Y'all going down to hell as the rest of your team gets obliterated, and Nayel going to be the last victim of Flame's destruction. And they're going to go into the base and take the rest of this game. We're going on to game 3.
Love to see that TP. That was a beautiful flank angle from Flame. He came back from death, teleported in the middle of that fight, and just got a free cleanup. And it was beautifully played from the side of Starner's Nation. Kaisa diving in the background, getting all that damage done. Unfortunately, she was taken out, but they got the game, and that's what matters.
And that ends up bringing it right into a game 3. Congratulations, Stoner Nation, taking that game for yourselves.
Who are you giving MVP? Which one, huh?
Geez, this is that was pretty. That's actually a pretty difficult. This is another one where it's like everybody on the team performed the way they needed to, but it's almost clear like Flame is obviously trying to put the team definitely in his hands. He wants to really try to be that person that they can depend on. And it's showing so far, even like their losses, like Flame was definitely a very consistent player, but Keanu definitely having very good map presence once again, on as a jungler, boosted, being able to do what he was able to do. Like he didn't really have to be anywhere, like he was just needed when he was needed. And then, as you said, in some fights, Kaisa just getting a lot of big damage, even dying in that last one, still being able to do a lot. It's really hard to give an MVP for this team, but if you want to give it to anybody,
yeah, who are you giving it to? Flame?
I would say give it to Flame.
I'm on the side of Keanu. I'm gonna give it to Keanu.
See, Keanu's is definitely is one that I was like, again, like just being everywhere in this game.
He did so much better at shadowing Flame, making sure he wasn't getting ganked. He got him the advantages. He got bot lane the the level 3 gank, wrapped back around when they blew Ash's flash, and then came back and got them a kill, left them alone to do their thing, and then just made a positive outplay on every part of the game, honestly, in my opinion. So I'd have to give it to Keanu for this game, as well as Flame did.
I really like that argument for it, and it's definitely a well worth it argument. You're not wrong. Like you look like, okay, maybe he didn't do a lot of damage, maybe but you see the presence that he had, which allowed, and again, having 14 out of 15 of the KD, like that obviously makes a very big difference. And I have to also give props to Worthy Does for that too, like being everywhere that he was able to be and making a big difference. Even like we literally saw that they had like ways to like mitigate the Maokai ultimate and such, but even then that still didn't matter.
I'll agree with you. And with that though, I think we will take a short break while we get into drafting.
Yes, sir.
Sailing across the mighty rivers, going a road to the beat drums, heading amongst the raiding seas. On time we approach the gates of Oz, ready and gather all our strength. The night has come of soaring rain. For the honor have no fear. We shall ascend this night of war. Ready and gather all our strength. The night has come of soaring rain. For the honor have no and our honor be foretold. Warriors of the northern land, sudden is forged into our shields be shattered, arms of steel, bloody axes fly with fury, raging thunder shake the sky, wrath of battle stains our mind, rage of vengeful kings of war, fearless sons and daughters fall. Sailing across the mighty rivers, row and row to the beat of drums, heading amongst the raiding seas. On time we approach the gates of foes, ready and gather all our strength. The night has come of soaring rain. For the honor have no fear, we shall withstand this night of war. For the honor have no fear, we shall withstand this night of war. In the whispers of our fate, and our honor be foretold. Warriors of the northern land, sudden is forged into our shields be shattered, arms of steel, bloody axes fly with fury, raging thunder shake the sky, wrath of battle stains our mind, rage of vengeful kings of war, fearless sons and daughters fall.
Alright, welcome back everyone. Streaming live, Stoners Nation and Night Raid Owls. Currently the standings are 1-1. We've seen very different games from each team in Game 1 and Game 2. What do you think, Malco? What do you think, Janelle?
Absolute complete shift in those two games. I was literally, as we were in the middle of the break, I literally ran downstairs and I like filled my girlfriend and I was like, yeah, like the teams completely switched around as going into game 3. Like the first team that got like they got completely stomped, and then like, oh yeah, now the other team decided to completely flip it around, and it like, so now we're going right into game 3, and it was just not what we weren't expecting it at all. Like, and then to me, I'm just thinking like I thought that like NRO would be able to play to the same strength, kind of what they did with the last game, and it didn't exactly work out. Instead, like they just pulled out a much stronger like version of the comp that they had for Stoner Nation, and if they can pull that off again, Stoner Nation is looking like they're gonna take game 3.
Yeah. I also ran downstairs and that game 3 is happening. It's been an insane series, honestly. And if we saw Stoner Nation bring out what they brought out in game 2, I definitely feel like we'd be looking at a 2-0. But I'm glad we're looking at a 3 games because it's just getting more and more interesting.
And as
And
we see, NRO Jax Aatrox immediate ban. They don't want to see that again.
I wouldn't want to see that Aatrox either. That was brutal. He was a devastating force for that team.
I'm sorry. That actually made it like that. I don't. Every time that champion pops again, like I said, it's like a Lowy. It's one of those champions that just randomly decides to pop up, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, now we're just getting completely stomped on the other side. Like the top lane is now completely on fire, and for some reason our team can't stop it. And even though you were to send 4 people at it, it still didn't make much of a difference for you.
I mean, I guess that's why his name is Flame, right? Because he is the spark that creates the flame. And on top of it, like You can tell a bad Aatrox from a good one from miles away, and that was definitely a good Aatrox. He definitely took a hold of that game. But like we were talking about, Keanu was a big contributing factor in that win. Like he was everywhere. He made it happen. He did the correct cover, and it looks like another first pick, Maokai actually for the side of NRO.
And I'm glad to see it. Like, NRO definitely recognizes the strength of Maokai. Seeing that Stoner Nation had it last game, and Worthy does was a very big force on that. Definitely an MVP support type on that Maokai in there. Whoa, we're seeing like the salty switch up as they end up taking the Braum for themselves. And this is a champion that has been banned the last 2 games. It is
Yes.
actually one of the better champions for the side of Stoner Nation. We're now seeing the Lucian finally picked up.
There's so much cohesion and synergy between these two champions. And the Braum Lucian, it is fabled. Everybody knows it. You see this combo, you run because it is kill lane. It will scar you for life.
But we also see another really big pickup that's also been banned this entire time. And I think yes, it is. We're also seeing a Vayne. We're about to see an insane type of matchup going on here in the bot side. And oh yeah, this is getting really exciting, guys. They're pulling out all the stops. I hope you guys are ready to see a big game here.
I know I am because Yukahu is also known for his vein, and it is going to be nice. I am so excited to see this. It is going to be team fights galore.
All right, so I guess I need some cough drops, is what you're saying, because someone about to get me Robitussin on deck. Wait,
Yeah.
it's not Maokai support. We're seeing the Leona here.
I love to see this. The aggression. They straight up said, "You can take Braum Lucian. I'm going to take Leona. I'm going to sit on your face all day."
You have been selected.
Exactly. They're going with the Jarvan again. It did so much work for them last game. I don't see why they wouldn't. I feel like if they left jungle open for another pick, it probably would have been banned this phase.
I think I honestly I completely agree. The respect for it, especially when you just have to just launch onto you just have to aim for the 80 carry. That's all you have to do. Aim for 80 carry, jump on top of them, and then they can't escape unless without a flash or a dash, as you had mentioned prior before. And since this is not an Ezreal pick for the side of NRO, it just makes sense that the Vayne is an easy lockdown target with how short range she also is. It's not like she has Emilio to help extend her range or anything like that. So she kind of just has to be very careful with her positioning. But we do have to have confidence in the fact that NRO is picking this vein because they have extreme confidence in their AD carry. And this is why they're also trying to round out these bans as they end up banning the Rumble. And we see Stoner Nation banning out the Yone and the Fury. And right now, the final ban from the side of NRO, they might end up stalling out a little bit longer on this one because we do see that the mid lane and the mid lane and the top lane still needs to be banned out.
I feel like they have to take another pick from top. Yep, Camille. There it goes. I
Yep.
do like the fact that they actually banned the Rumble for the Rumble Jarvan combo. They definitely saw that insight coming, and I imagine Flame could play it probably pretty well.
My concern here, though, is that they're going with the Corki again. Who's to say the top lane doesn't end up being the Gnar?
I honestly think it might be the Gnar, and if not, like it has to be something along those lines. Maybe a Darius.
Just something that can easily combo together with this Jarvan.
100%. Just create pressure and a Kali hover.
Ooh.
And an Akali pick. I like to see Akali. Anyway, she's fun champion. She's fun to look at. She creates mayhem in every opportunity. If Flame says I would never play Darius, I feel like you're missing out. That champion is busted.
He's fun to make people rage with, I'll say that.
Yeah, just 2 days ago I made someone in my solo queue game rage.
Ooh,
Rage
and
quit,
NRL putting
actually.
him back on. We're putting Niall back on the Cassante. I like it.
That Darius hover. I do like seeing the Kazante because he did so well on actually like shutting down Flam and not giving him the opportunity to do what he was doing in the second game. Oh, the Gwen lock. That's very interesting. I'm not actually sure how the Gwen and Kazante matchup works, I feel like it wouldn't be too bad since she can spell shield the not spell shield, sorry. Go immune, the Gwen immune. The
The
Cassante
Shroud.
third Q.
Yeah.
Looking like a very strong team fight comps for both sides. Who would you give this draft to?
This one's actually a much harder draft to pick out on, but I'm thinking Stoner Nation just based on they kept a lot of this. They kept like some major pieces from the last game where they have the Corky and the Jarvan. So Keanu still having that base like presence that he was able to create for himself, and just overall, I noticed that's very consistently something that he does is making sure that he has consistent jungle presence amongst the lanes. So like he's trying to keep himself on that ability, and if he's able to keep that pressure on, it's going to be another really good steamroll game for Stoner Nation. But they also improved on getting the Lucian over to Duck Meets Toast, and then Flame now being on something a little bit different with the AP carry and Gwen. So this will definitely turn out to be something different, but I do see where they try to give some strong pieces. Like once again, they give Niel the Cassantes to be able to mitigate a lot of the pressure that Flame's gonna be able to put on him. And then it looks like they're trying to get some strong assassination with the Akali, and then giving Yukaho the vein there too. They definitely had to make some big changes here to be able to make this work. And I think this being the game 3, they're both coming out with guns blazing.
I definitely agree. Personally, I'm on the side of NRO just because if they actually lock someone down, that person is not moving for a very long time. And I like to see that. That's rage quit material, and it makes me happy.
That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and post the prediction. You have 5 minutes, starting now.
Yeah, that's what I can speak from experience. Like you can if you can make someone rage quit, you will you almost can guarantee win that game. And you take out one player and then the rest of the legs for some reason just manage to fall. And it sometimes can be really hard to carry through rage. So I think this game now with game 3 being the way it is, like this is the one where this is all gonna be come down to mental. It's gonna all come down to whose team's mental is gonna boom first.
I agree. It's also I'm curious to see which side we play to this time because Jarvan does have a lot more options, whereas the side of Maokai does not. He kind of has to play bot side, I think, if we're looking at terms of compositions, just early dragons, early fights, stuff that can get them the lead to potentially snowball this Vayne and or Akali.
And remember, this is also extremely important for the Stoner Nation because as after making switches consistently week by week, they're trying to see if they can actually secure this first win here in week 3 against Night Raid Owls, who are trying to right now go 2-1. Both teams have gotten some really strong picks for themselves. Both teams are trying to play to their major strengths. And right now, both teams are currently in dire need of this win. So, are we currently in the middle of draft countdown by chance?
They're in the lobby. They're currently selecting their champions. About halfway through, we're going through the second round of bans.
Alrighty, so we're currently awaiting that time to arrive for the spectator delay. In the meantime, grateful for all those people who are in the chat right now interacting with us, enjoying the games, enjoying the cast. I hope you know that if you are new here to Valhalla Esports, please drop that follow. Please join us in this Discord. Let us know if you're looking to sub and or cast and or play within any teams here. We definitely have consistent in-houses that are running almost every single night, consistent scrim teams going on against the different teams, and subs being consistently picked up over and over and over again. And don't forget here, if you want to secure yourself 30 days of guaranteed Valhalla Esports love, don't forget to drop a sub, or even just go ahead and use a regular sub here on Twitch that supports the stream, supports the shop, and supports the league overall and all the players as well.
Yes, please. I will go ahead and predict, even though I've lost all of my money 2 games in a row.
I'm actually very scared. I'm the worst gambling man. Like I'll go to a casino and If I lose like $200, I'm looking at the rest of the money I brought in. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just deal with that loss.
200? You just going with 40, homie. If you lose that 40, you call it quits. Like, come on now. Let's go Flame, best top laner in the league. Ooh, you calling out Hailstrom?
Oh boy, we're about to start getting this is what's about to get real fun because as we start to get into like week like 4, 5, and 6, it's just gonna be so insane. Like seeing like each of the players start to develop like the rivalries between each other and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for this. This is looking like a lot of fun. Um, like we have the different narratives for different teams. Like we got the Wrath of the Titans and things like that. So, it's I like how this is looking right now. This league is looking like a lot of fun compared to like, and all the teams are looking a lot more even. So everyone's definitely like gut punching at everybody.
Oh, 100%. I feel like there's so much talent in this season, and just a majority of teams honestly look a lot more balanced than they did last season. So every game, every team mostly can, for the most part, take a game off of any other team so far, from what I've seen. To see the dynamics and how things turn out.
And with that said, it's looking like we're getting right into the spectator delay. Remember, guys, that this is a game 3 here. So it's looking like right now both teams are trying to break out all the stops. Uh, they had to adapt and ban against Flame when it came to a lot of the different champions. So that allowed for some of the open champions for the side of Stoner Nation to be able to grab what they wanted. Or sorry, Stoner Nation to be able to grab what they wanted in the sense of like getting the Lucian Braum combo, being able to still get that Jarvan, get that Corki, which definitely made some really really big differences for them. And then, but we now do see that Yukihu is able to get the Vayne, Dainty Taco being able to lock down a lot of people with this Leona, and they still have the same lot of lockdown on that other side with Kid Buu now taking over the Maokai duty, Kasante now being what looked like potentially a much better champion for Niel. And then I see some very one pick carry type assassinations with this Akali. Uh, I can't wait. This is definitely looking like a scrappy game. We should see a lot of kills very very early.
Yeah, it's and a lot of the team fights are going to be decided on whether or not like Gwen can just take out the AD carry, take out the mid laner, or if Akali can do her job and make sure that the AD carry can't play the game, right? You can't really lock down an Akali being in Shroud and throwing her E and just being able to instantly hop on top of someone or with the ulti, right? Uh, it's team fights are going to be delicate, and I'm kind of excited to see that because everyone's going to be running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to find where's the 80 carry. Let's get the 80 carry.
Vayne going invisible while the Akali's in Shroud. Oh, no,
Exactly.
no, no, no.
Exactly.
Wait. We're gonna have a whole entire like. I'm really ready for like the clown fiesta that's gonna end up happening. It needs to go completely foobar for me. That's what I want to see.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Looks like
Make
we
it
got 20
so
more seconds.
Make it such a crazy team fight for me that I sound like I'm slurring every single word. I need to sound like one of these mumble rappers out here. Like that's what needs to be going on, guys. And from the way these teams are looking, it's probably going to end up happening.
And yet I'm okay with that. I'm totally excited for that, actually. It looks like we are getting into game.
I'm sorry that the last couple games, guys, we haven't done any of the skin games, but usually for some reason the game's been immediately loading in like that.
Yeah.
Notice how, guys, this is the one time. This is actually the first cast I've done where I actually haven't said Riot fix your shit. This is actually the first time.
I mean, I've been thinking it. I don't know if you saw the Aatrox last game. I was thinking it. But no, the spectator delay has been really good.
No, he just got really ahead. There was no fixing that.
True. Incoming nerfs, please. Please and thank you.
Are you sure?
No.
No.
Standard 5-point coming out from the side of both sides.
Well, it's
just
also
looking to
Worlds
play
time,
safe.
so it's Worlds time. So when Worlds is up, they always usually have Aatrox as a secret, like strong champion that they secretly buff, or items just become really strong for him. And so it's just like, oh, let's pick this champion because we know that it's gonna end up being strong. They don't have to really tweak him.
True, and I do like the fact of seeing Aatrox. He's always fun to watch, and he's like definitely a lot of pressure on the side of the enemy team that doesn't have Aatrox. But at the same time, please get him out of my games.
Better start banning him then. You know, know the secret, the super secret tech.
Yeah, ban Silas. That's the super secret tech. Looks like casual clear coming in from the side of Kid Buu, smiting his blue buff, walking over to his Raptors. I wonder if he's gonna 3-camp gank bot lane, or if he's not, he's just going to skip his rock golems and just go to top side to give pressure to Niall.
I think that's what we're gonna want to do, especially since Flame isn't on a champion that can definitely like overall completely carry the way that they have had the last 2 games. I think they're gonna try to like be able to mitigate a lot of Flame there and not allow him to be able to really keep Niall out of the game. You know, getting him, because both games he did end up Flame horizoning him, and it's just something that they have to take into consideration.
It's looking like a 3v3 is being set up in bot side.
Uh-oh, hold on. Jarvan isn't there just yet, but Maokai is sitting here waiting to back, and he's just hanging out. But does he know that potentially Jarvan's gonna come down this side? Jarvan's actually trying to go over the... Oh, Maokai ended up backing, not dropping a ward over the wall, but looks like... I don't think Keanu's going to try to make a wraparound gank behind the wall, which he very much could have at that point.
I think he still can.
Oh, he actually can. He's actually trying to wrap around, but he decided to walk around instead of using the flag. He wanted to hold on to it for the engage. I don't think that they know at all. He's going to just be coming down. Here he comes. Flash, ignite. He flashes away. Yukahu going to be able to get away, but I don't know if Dainty's going to be able to do so. One more auto. First blood going immediately over to Keanu. Great gank as he's able to get the summoners from both players down on the bot side, on the side of NRO.
Unfortunately, the kill did go to Keanu, but at the same time, it also gives him early items to be able to clear faster and gank more, which is in total, it's a very good thing, especially early game for Jarvan.
It seems that that's just the type of jungler that he is. He really likes to make those early ganks, and that's something you need to be suspecting of, especially when you're pushed up that far up and you don't have vision for yourself except for in that river brush area. So you have to be suspecting of, like, whenever you think of it, it's like, oh, there's a Zac or a Nocturne. They can gank from some random points. Jarvan is another one of those junglers that can just come from a random point that you just don't know.
Maokai is in the top side, and Flame was pushing, but he decides to go for mid instead. Interesting choice. Oh, he's rapping for his Raptors.
But
Keanu's almost done it.
Keanu's here. Yep, and he's gonna end up taking the whole camp away, not even leaving any little ones for him.
I like this play by Keanu. It shows, map pressure and awareness of where Maokai is. It looks like Brahm's rotating into mid side to get some vision as well to try and scope out where this Maokai is going to come from.
I like that from them. They're trying to keep the constant information up, and that's something that Stoner Nation needed from before in their first game, which wasn't getting enough information. Denying information. Wait, that didn't stop the recall?
No, it was just on the edge. I don't think it hit until the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be question mark pinging right there, but okay.
I mean, it's fine. She still got her reset off, and the wave will be shoving to her, so she will be gankable if Jarvan does decide to head up there.
I wonder if Flame is just saying like you don't have to really do much else, just try to keep.
Oh, the E going along.
Oh, here comes the potential lane gank. Oh, we do have the double gank. It's a 3v3 as the flash in. Malphite Root being able to go in, but the Flag and Drag is able to stop him. Dainty Taco on low health. More health bar on the red side than the blue side as they try to use the sapling to slow him down. E missing from Dainty Taco, not being able to lock anyone else down. The shield being used by Keanu Reeves. I don't know if he's going to end up going back in. They turn around. And with that 3v3, they end up mitigating a lot.
Turning into a 4v3.
Hold on, we got Cocaine down here as we see a back coming in from Kid Buu. Kid Buu backing off, and now there's going to be an actual reset instead of turning that into a 4v3.
I really like the choice to put Niel back on Cassante. He's not as far down as he was in CS as like he was the second game. And he's showing a lot more pressure than he was, again, than last game.
This is probably just a much more comfortable champion for him, and now that he was able to actually get it, it just seems that, you know, maybe he will actually be able to do a little bit more. He actually had a good presence in the last couple games, or in the last, like that first game when they were initially hold on, right? Cocaine engaging in, Shroud being used, but he's now in a 1v2 as Kid Boo's gonna have to try to walk in to try to save his mid laner, but being able to use that Shroud got him away over the wall, and he has nothing to worry about anymore. But Niel now being on the Cassante definitely showing some difference from being on the Malphite before. And I guess that definitely shows that this is probably like a favorite champion of his. But hold on, that favorite champion is right now getting ganked as you see the ultimate being dropped. Level 4 Keanu goes in flash.
Oh, good turn.
Right into the turret. Almost taking out the Keanu. Almost taking out the Jarvan. And gonna be able to get away with his life.
That was a really good play by Niel, being able to use the Unstoppable to cancel out the Flag and Drag and then shove Jarvan into his tower, followed up by his ulti. It's just good play.
Oh, and we're seeing the 1v1 here in the Yell and Flame. We're going in, but right now Boosted getting selected as he gets locked down, but Dainty not going to be able to do enough lockdown and be able to get Boosted to take him out. In fact, he almost got taken out himself as they're trying to fight here for this first Drake. Yukihu coming up to try to help with this damage. But right now, Duck Butter Toast is also coming. He's level 5, so he doesn't really have any ultimate to help engage against this as Cocaine is just going to end up getting almost shredded. The Shroud being able to save him. No! The Blind Rocket ends up hitting him as the level 6 gets hit, and the ultimate ends up taking out Kid Buu, and they're going to keep chasing. Yukihu's going to have to try to tumble out to get away, but the red buff Slow is going to be able to take him down. Potentially no Flag and Drag for the tower dive as a lot of damage is coming out from the Lucian.
They lost the dragon, but won the war for sure. Just the amount of damage that came out from the burst from Lucian, and then the Braum passive and Torquay at the same time on Akali. He was not expecting that at all. And the stray rocket hit, secured the kill, gave them the opportunity to continue to chase down, get the Braum Q onto the Maokai, to finish off with the Lucian ulti. It was just such a good play. Love to see it.
And as said, huge plays by the Stoners early going on. And once again, this is a team that they know that they need to get these early game advantages on for themselves to be able to make their teams work. And they're really showing why that matters to them. Again, as you said, they lost the battle, but they ended up ultimately winning the war in that moment. And they just, they ended up taking it for themselves. And let's hope that they can continue to expand on this advantage that they gained for themselves.
It's a 3K gold league coming out for the side of Stoner Nations as well, and for the first time, it's not fully on Flame. Every lane has kills besides Flame. Flame only has the CS advantage right now.
And even though, yes, it's 1,100 gold up, you still see 300 gold between the junglers, 300 gold between the mid laners. There's still 700 gold between the ADCs in their respectives, and then a 500 gold difference between the supports. So you, once again, the gold difference is actually spread significantly more evenly and into different places where it actually is going to matter. The Braum's going to be able to be a little bit more tankier with a little extra gold, whether it's just even that extra ruby crystal for more stats, it still matters. You got the Lucian being 700 gold up. That's two extra long swords on top of the vein, you then have the 1100 gold difference, well 1300 gold difference up in the top lane, which again it's a majority on Flame, but still the rest of the gold is actually being spread out. And right now we're about to get a little bit more gold hopefully onto them as they're looking at this tower dive here, but it's not really sitting like they're gonna be able to do it right this moment. Never mind, as we get the TP coming in also from the Corki, they really want to secure this turret and those turret plates.
Wave is coming in, they see him.
Oh, yeah, you might need to be able to run away. You're getting pincered here. Ultimate used by the Braum as you go unstoppable trying to get away, but not going to be enough as they end up locking you down. But the Maokai ultimate also locks him down too. But Niel trying to fight this out as Kid Buu ends up taking out Worthy Dust. But now Keanu Reeves ends up taking out Niel. But Kid Buu's going to keep trying to run away. Flashes away from Keanu as he's trying to go and live to fight another day. And he ends up doing so, as they still continue to barrel down this top lane as they end up getting rid of more members. So they're like, sure, let's just go ahead and keep just going, pushing forward even more. Stoners know that they can take as much more of this map as they can, taking away the jungle so they don't have more gold, starving them even more and more. Lucian now in this mid lane trying to push that out, maybe even be able to get a plate for himself. But Cocaine, knowing that other things are going on in the map, he ends up trying to get this bot lane for himself as well.
NRO did finally get their first kill of the game though, which is a super bonus. Even though it was just on Braum, it still went, you know, on somewhere. It's still gold to help them come back because they are 4,000 gold now behind.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly. They need to claw their way back bit by bit, and you know, they need time for Yukahu to scale, for Akali to get into the position where she can 1v1 the AD carry. Although, Kraken is out for Lucian, which means his combos are just going to hit that much harder.
And we do have the Corki now. Also, don't forget, Corki does start to build up his items, and then those rockets are going to start hurting even more than they were before. Like, that one straight rocket on the kill, like, that was on a very low health Akali. Once you start seeing him, he's going to start shredding on these different squishies as well, too, when he starts hitting them with those enhanced rockets.
Indeed, and Mythic's coming out already for the side of Gwen and Jarvan. Gwen does have the Riftmaker, which means she's going to be super strong in the side lane. It's going to be damn near impossible to stop her.
So what do you think is the win factor here for NRO right now? They definitely have an uphill battle to climb. Do you see what the next best avenue is?
I think they need to give up dragons for a bit. Don't even contest. Just shove in side lanes. Get the plates in the other lanes, and just make their way back bit by bit, looking for picks rather than looking for these team fights, which they're currently doing.
And right now I'm seeing in chat people saying that Worthy does playing the Braum. Oh yeah, it's over. Let's go. Like, I'm glad that you giving that props, because right now he's definitely showing 100% KDA, only teammate on the team right now with the 100% KP. So he's all over the place in every fight, in every moment, trying to make sure that his team is protected and able to do the things that the Braum's able to do. And right now he's definitely proven it. So let's see what this keeps going on beyond here. I want to see if maybe this time Worthy Dust is looking for the MVP, and maybe very much he's going to earn it on this one.
100%. Flame, though, pressuring his lead once again in top side, making it difficult for Niel to actually leave and participate into any other lane, honestly.
The CS gap, though. Yeah, we've been seeing that consistently in multiple games, but even if you look at the CS gap in the mid lane, Boosted being about 40 CS down against the Akali here, too.
Well, we did see the CS gap in the first game, but we also saw Niel's Cassante just do a lot more with the gold he was allotted, right? I think that's the potential we can look towards. Kid Buu looking to set up a gank, though. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think here they're really going to be looking to... It looks like this is a point where I thought we were going to get a much bloodier game, but it was more like the fights are significantly crazier. Oh, who ends up getting that blue buff? And it ends up going over to the Maokai. Good job, Kid Buu, and up taking that away from so the Gwen can't take it from you.
I definitely feel like both sides are playing a little bit safer because they know this is game 3. This is it, or they lose. You know,
Yeah.
so they're trying to play more paced and structured, and I like seeing that overall. You know, I just like seeing structured League of Legends rather than, you know, we just run at each other and hope something works out.
I mean, sometimes the unga bunga way of playing League of Legends is fun too. You know, gives us
It's
some
definitely
high
fun to
kill
watch.
games. Oh yeah, you know, everyone shuts their brains off and they're like, team fight time. And, you know, everyone goes full Power Ranger, starts, you know, flipping and explosions everywhere, looking like a Michael Bay movie. But
Man is not a fan of LPL. No, I don't. I don't typically watch League of Legends outside of Worlds. So there's that.
is it LPL is significantly slower, aren't they? They generally
No,
play more methodical,
they're
or are they more?
they're run at each other 24/7.
Oh,
That's how we
they're
play
unga
this game.
bunga.
Yeah.
Okay. LPL is a bloodbath, and
Yes, sir.
yet we can barely make it out of quarterfinals. Anyways, well, we can't even make it out of quarterfinals. We can barely make it there.
We made it this year. That's all that matters.
Oh man, we don't need to speak about that right now. We got a game going on ourselves. We got our own little split going on over here.
It's a short trading coming out from the side of the 80 carries, which is spicy. Love to see that. The Lucian versus Vayne. I I typically don't like seeing a Vayne walking up to a Lucian just for any reason.
It's even with like the items, you know, static versus Kraken, just raw damage overall, you would expect that the Lucian could possibly outpace. But you're right. I wouldn't want to be a Lucian walking into a Vayne that's just gonna keep auto me and Silverbolt procs over and over and over. It hurts even with just pure attack speed. She still hurts.
Yeah, and the fact that she can go invisible, yeah, you have burst as Lucian, but at the same time, the moment she goes invisible, you have no idea what's going on.
Maokai ultimate lands right onto Boost's sandwich as he ends up getting taken out, immediately shredded and assassinated by Cocaine. But Flame is here trying to go ahead and getting the revenge as the ultimate comes down in the shroud, trying to jump on, slowing down Kid Boo's. The scissors going snip snip as the TP's coming down, but the Keanu using the Jarvan ultimate, the Cataclysm trying to lock him down, but Niall's here to help and support the rest of the team as Flame is gonna go ahead, caught in the middle of two, but Kid Buu ends up getting slain as Keanu's able to walk away with his life barely, but Flame's gonna have to get shut down as his Flame is smothered out by Cocaine, and then the ultimate coming down, Rain the Sun as Worthy does get shredded down. We're seeing some life coming out of NRO.
I really liked the play that Braum had in the top half of that fight while Flame was dying. He jumped to Jarvan at that last auto that would have killed him from the Vayne and would have gave Vayne the shutdown that would have propelled her even further. He jumped in, walled off the last auto, and just gave Jarvan the opportunity to, you know, get out. I would have liked to see maybe Braum just leave with the Jarvan and give up on Flame, even though, you know, Flame is strong. He's not strong enough to take on 4 members. And it looks like we're setting up for Dragon. Once again, Keanu Reeves still has not reset, which means he does not have his latest buy. Not sure how much gold he has on him, though.
And even then, though, he's looking like a really strong member right now. Another MVP candidate.
Oh, yeah, that's one component.
Yep, 700 gold up on his opponent, but he's definitely holding on to this gold right now as they're able to take that Drake for themselves. Cloud Drake secure for the side of Stoner Nation.
Looks like NRO just decided to give it and went for a full reset. Which is, you know, I would have liked to see them maybe challenge it, especially since Keanu didn't reset and he was a little bit low.
Big dive set up as Kid Boo's caught off by the Flagon Drag, and all it is the Akali and the Maokai caught by 4 different members. Cataclysm drops on the turret as the Maokai ultimate is used, but the Lucian is being able to using his ultimate and is shredding down a lot of damage as one person is able to get away on the end side, but Flame is caught in between 3 different members. He ends up getting taken out. Yuka who ends up slaying Flame, but then the tower goes down on blue side as they try to get away. That's one team member down on the side of Stoner Nation. Another kill secured for the side of NRO, but the turret goes ahead and gets dropped, so objective traded for kill.
And Keanu almost died there as well. He got out of that tower with 1 HP.
I literally
One.
could not tell who it was that was actually like just barely walking away, but I saw that at the corner and I was like, oh man, that was lucky for him.
Yeah, he flagged and dragged out, even though he was tanking the tower the entire time. He flagged and dragged out with 1 HP. I mean, I feel like we should have focused tower before the dive, especially since it was low enough. And we did end up putting the rift where it wasn't, close enough to crash into tower, either of them, because Vayne killed it before it got to the second tower as well. So, all in all, massive win for the side of NRO.
And they're definitely breathing some life back into the game now for themselves. This is something that they've been needing, because before they were falling so behind. But now it's just about a 2K gold lead that's kind of switching back and forth between the two teams. But like, we're gonna see if maybe Stoner Nation can actually start to build up on the advantages and that they have slightly in the top lane still, even though he's behind in kills and deaths. Oh man, never mind about that, as we see the Lucian get slain, and as a 3-in-1 solo dolo going right to Akali, and Akali now gonna have to try to get away as 2 members is immediately on her, jumps on top of her. That Q end up missing might be big, but the ignite always revealing as 3 members come down, shut down, going on to a very big member in the Corki, who's currently trying to start accelerating themselves immediately to that Luden's Echo.
That is beautiful. The fact that Corki got that kill with his E at the last second just makes it so much more worth, because Jarvan doesn't need any more gold.
Oh no, not at all. Jarvan could literally just straight up walk away, but hold on, Flame here 1v2ing, but they don't know that the rest of the team is here to help support Flame. If that was able to secure maybe Niel going down there, they were able to get the stun. Maokai ultimate used to stop any more of the engage, and yeah, this is an immediate turn to Baron.
They have 2 members that need to reset, and their whole team is healthy. They should be starting this Baron. We should be ignoring the scuttle, just starting the Baron so they don't give time to the side of NRO to make a comeback.
There's absolutely no time to waste. No time to waste. It's all forward from here. And this is looking like halfway, and no other teammates from the side of NRO is even approaching here. So this is looking like an immediate Baron pickup and another acceleration of the lead for the side of Stoner Nation.
Love to see it. That was a good play. Definitely a good play. If I was the side of Stoner Nation, I would definitely go with a 1-4, I think, and have Jarvan hovering between the 1 and the 4. Especially with Dragon coming up in a minute 26. Definitely play towards the bot side, save your teleport. If you have it that way, if you do win the fight, you can teleport top lane, get an extra tower with that Baron buff, and just propel yourself into an even bigger lead.
Well, let's see if they're going to end up taking big macro plays. Let's see if they're going to end up taking your advice from here on out, as they're hopefully going to be pressing forward more with themselves. They know they need to win this game. 4K gold up is definitely a nice little lead to have on yourself, especially if you're starting to get it onto the carry champions that absolutely need it, but they need to use this lead and they need to get themselves into a win situation.
Yep, here comes Corki walking down rather than teleporting, which I like. I don't think he should teleport there. But it looks like that's what we're gonna get. Although he is completely undefended, which means he can take this turret for free before Dragon even spawns.
And he does have the TP waiting to be used in this situation, so I'm sure they're gonna. I'm sure his team's gonna try to drop some wards for him if need be.
Looks like Stoner Nation has pretty good ward coverage around the map. And it looks like they're giving up their tier 3 just to fight for this 3rd dragon.
Are they just gonna let Corki just go ahead? Like, Flame can go ahead and try to distract as long as they can. Corki can just keep taking that turret. Yeah, wait, what's going on here? You guys are just chasing down so much. Yeah, you get the kills here, but the Corki is just gonna go ahead and just keep tearing up your base as you guys keep going in. Early does gonna try to walk away. All right, yep. This is all it is. If he can keep them distracted, Keanu can just allow him. Nope. Cassante ends up backing and going and stopping the Corki from pushing in forward. But at what cost? Yeah, you lost teammates. But does it really matter when you lost so much of your base and they are able to secure an in-hit for themselves? Only losing 2 Baron buffs as well. I don't know if that was really worth it to them.
Nah, I'd take it back. It's a good thing he went top lane. Because, NRO played that very weirdly, in my opinion. They they didn't even get the dragon.
Right. So what?
I don't know. I feel like that was definitely a big misplay on the side of NRO, and yeah, sending people for flame and controlling them is a good idea, but giving up your base and the dragon for it is not suggested.
Yeah, that wasn't really looking too good in my opinion.
And I mean, with the top inhib down as well, it looks like Stoner's Nation can straight up go for that 1-4 that I was talking about and not worry about anything. Gwen has teleport back up, which means she's safe to keep shoving in there. And if they try to engage on mid, she can just teleport and they can steamroll the team fight at this point because they have the item advantage, they have the inhib advantage, and the experience advantage as well.
I'm seeing somebody say it's macro on top of macro. Couldn't agree more.
Dante Taco looking for this cheese play in the crevice, but she
Getting
gets found out.
immediately found out, but unfortunately, a lot of things missing, and he's gonna walk away. But I think a much more important target gets taken out as Kid Buu gets slain by the Corki 3-1-1.
I think they take inhib here in mid or bot. They can't stop Flame now.
They're definitely looking for an easy way to end this, but shut
Colin
down on that
making
Corki. Yeah, definitely that high pick assassination that they wanted from this team. But is it quick? Is it gonna be enough at this current moment with the way that Stoner Nation is still trying to push in, even with being down the kills, still up 5.8k gold.
I definitely like seeing the proactiveness from the Akali and actually making plays by herself, even when, you know, she should be playing. Not that she should. Her team should be playing safe under tower. You know, letting them come to them. She found out Corki walking to rotate to the Gwen to support the Gwen, and got a free kill for literally nothing. She got out. She got the kill. She got time to reset her team so they can last just a little bit longer, so they can get to that scaling point of the Vayne, of the Akali in team fights.
So at this point, like, other than the Akali is there, I mean, they still do have a lot of, like, decent win factor because the Vayne is still continuing to scale at this current moment. So I think we're still looking at a very, very even game, even with the goal differences and so on.
Yes, 100%. Unfortunately, like, the longer that Gwen goes on, the more she 1v5s. So I feel like they need to propel this Vayne a little bit more further ahead. Since it looks like the Akali has more than enough gold already.
So we're really gonna have to start. They will want to start, like, at this point, funneling a lot of that gold directly into Vayne.
Yes, 100%. And it looks like both teams are setting up vision for the Baron that's coming up in 5 seconds. Corki shoves wave and got to reset.
I'm not gonna
Packages
lie,
down for
the
a while.
way this is looking, if this fight is a clean sweep by the side of Stoner Nation, this could potentially end up being the game.
Oh, 100%. NRO has no objectives. Even if they do lose the fight, they can't really get much, but maybe a tier 2 and or Dragon and Baron, right?
And that's about it.
Yeah, it'll help them come back a little bit more, but there's no, you know, permanent objectives that have serious implications that can be taken.
We're still hoping to see what that NRO is going to end up being able to do. The game has currently slowed down as both teams are trying to posture around these different objectives. But right now, it's looking like either team, if one big objective fight goes wrong for either one, that could end up being the end. And right now, Keanu ends up seeing the different members of them as he jumps in on the Cataclysm Flash being used by the Vayne. I have to get him away. Ultimate's being used all over. As 2 being used by both the supports. Ultimate being used by Kid Buu. His shutdown goes on to Keanu. And big kills going over as the only member slain right now is going to end up being the solo Dolo going up in the top side. TP coming in from the Kali to try to stop the Gwen. But it's going to be a lot of kills. So now blue side and a row going to be able to take these fights and take this Drake.
Yeah, unfortunately the Gwen wasn't there, and they were completely mispositioned because Maokai got to get on top of the of the Lucian and hold him there long enough for the Akali to put out that damage, and then there was Vayne just hammering the true shot bolts and just doing percent health damage. It was a melt fest.
Yep, and this is what we're worried. This is like what they have to worry about, is the fact that now they're gonna start scaling into it. Akali is now at the point where she immediately deletes any of the squishies on the enemy team. So now Vayne is just able to free fire damage. So if you have the Akali to worry about while Vayne's just free firing on you, what do you do? And I think that's the next mission that they have to figure out on the side of Stoner Nation, if they have any hope of winning this game.
100%. I think that they need to give time for Corki to actually get his poking out, as well as set up properly in order to zone the members that are doing the most damage, which is Akali. If you pick her, the fight's pretty much as good as yours, because Vayne still isn't at that 1v5 potential, right?
And hold on, Dainty Taco is caught out here by the members of Stoner Nation. They end up getting that pick, and that's a kill right there for them. Flame getting another kill for himself.
We go to Baron here, 100%. We go to Baron, and then we 1-4.
Yep, if anything, if they end up trying to stop you at the Baron, you end up forcing a 4v5. You should be able to take those number advantage and end up winning that, taking the Baron, and potentially even winning the game. They're gonna go ahead. They're trying to get away from this Akali. As Akali right now 18-2, definitely doing a lot of damage to any squishy that ends up getting hit. The Braum ultimate and the double teleport getting used. You got the ultimate being used by Lucian as he's getting engaged immediately onto him. Then shredded and dominated immediately onto the Akali. Akali gets a double kill in the mid laner as well, trying to get away. Zonya's being used as he tries to live just for a little bit while longer. Akali getting away as the Vayne is able to free fire, going on a killing spree, taking out the jungler on the side of Stoner Nation. They're gonna keep trying to run away as Flame is jumping on top of you here, and you didn't realize they were backing in the wrong place. You're gonna end up giving away the kill as the support is just jumping on top of you. Shutdown going over to Flame. Big shutdown, 750 gold, and that's gonna also be more than just a shutdown as you backed in the wrong place. They're gonna take this tower, possibly inhib as well.
They do. They have super minions shoving in topside again. Super minions during that fight ended up taking one of the Nexus towers, which ended up in turn just getting a bigger lead for Stoner Nation, even without them fighting that fight.
Even without them winning it initially in the beginning, they end up all winning it in the end, just because Flame continued to wanting to continue that play for themselves and keep pressing forward, and it ultimately end up coming out a net positive. Kill, turret, inhib, and now you have 2 inhibs down, and you have to worry about them trying to force themselves into your base once more. As we see another fight starting because Flame just immediately catches out the Maokai. Maokai getting caught, and now Flame going unstoppable. That is the immediate ban for Stoner Nation.
I think they just straight up take this Baron and go for the end. They have 2 inhibs down. They have no reason not to, with Kid Buu having a 30-second death timer. And they shred this Baron.
Oh yeah, no, there should be no resets here, but they want to go ahead and try to take the reset, probably try to maybe empower some of these super minions, get them pressing forward, and then try to end the game from there, or just do a 1-4, sending all their whoever the pressure is, which is probably Flame at this point, to the mid lane, getting them to press in one of those open inhib lanes, and then trying to get the bot lane pushed in and really put the pressure on NRO to try to answer them.
100%. And the thing is, Jasante can't match Gwen anymore. Gwen now has Death Cap and Cosmic Drive. She is a menace. If you try to run from her, she will run you down faster than you can run from her. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have to send multiple people to stop Gwen, and even still, I think it's still not enough, because her ultimate alone just does so much damage. And it looks like we are getting, we're setting up for Soul instead of going for the end.
And I think they just want to make sure that they can't give them anything else that could possibly posture them. Again, this Cloud Soul won't really do anything, even if they do decide to give it up for the Soul point. But I think they just want to get themselves potentially to a closer Elder if needed.
Oh no, Flame.
Checking that brush unfortunately leads to a death. Big shutdown going right to Cocaine as he gets 950 gold. Not necessarily needed, but they're gonna end up trading that back as the jungler who gets slain on the jungler for mid lane or jungler for top laner, as they're gonna immediately go ahead and switch over and get this Drake. I think right now, even though Flame ended up dying there and giving up a shutdown, the fact that they ended up taking out the jungler so they don't have to necessarily 50-50 this is still a good thing. But they're still strong enough to go ahead and fight.
Yeah.
They still have fear of potentially this Akali being able to shred through their entire team. I'm not sure if it's just the Akali or the Vayne or just getting caught out by anybody, because this fight is being huge and Cocaine's going legendary as he's able to jump in. Double kill is not going to be enough. As oh, I'm so sorry, because whoa, that was not expected. Immediate double kill turned right onto the Drake. Good job as Cocaine taking those kills and taking his team on his back. NRO definitely showing some fight.
100%. I think it's very unfortunate that Flame decided to face check there when he was perfectly fine in the bush with his teammate. And if they decided to walk past him, the opposite would have happened. It would have been Flame one-shotting someone rather than him getting one-shot himself.
And honestly, I was actually very surprised to see him get one shot like that. I won't, if he doesn't end up picking up Zonias at this point, I'll be very, very surprised, just to give him that potential survivability. But it's still, again, it's still a game that's within Stoner Nation's hand, but they're really starting to falter right now in this later macro play, and it's showing right now with the way that NRO is still able to eke out, even with the inhib advantage that they gained. They weren't still able to press forward and end the game here, even getting the Baron and so on and so forth.
Yeah, 100%. And they're trying to start the 1-4 again with Corki shoving out mid lane, and I assume he'll rotate after he does so. But he also has to be super careful, because this Akali is such a big problem that if you get picked in the jungle while trying to rotate over, it's just not going to be a fun time. I think he's picking up package.
And that's looking kind of dangerous for him as they're going ahead full TP being used down to the bot side. They're now trying to open up this bot lane tower and inhib as it's going very low. Maokai ultimate used for the engage. They're trying to trap in Akali with somebody, but no, you're trapped in with the Akali yourself, as Kid Buu, Yukahu, and everybody, or Yukahu, and everybody else is gonna go ahead and completely shred your team down. 4 for nothing being used. Yeah, you get the inhib, but your entire team ends up getting absolutely eviscerated in that bot lane fight. It doesn't really matter for you, Flame, as even though you were able to do that to their base, they did that to your team.
Yeah, I definitely think it's unfortunate, because Flame ended up getting a TP canceled, I believe, is what happened. So he wasn't there for his team, whereas if he was there, it definitely would have gone the way of Stoner Nation, I think. 100%.
There was very much potential there, but unfortunately with it not, they're just going to go ahead and start to turn this game around. The gold lead is starting to diminish as they managed to bring it down to within 1.3k. Now make it about just under a 1k gold lead. We're seeing it completely shift, and we're seeing NRO starting to take this game back into their hands.
Yeah, it's really hard for Stoner Nation, especially since Yukahu is finally, scaled. He's at that strong point of Vayne. He's at that late game Vayne, and Akali is full build and has been. She's no worries in the world deleting 1 or 2 people while Vayne sits in the back and just shreds somebody. And the amount of CC they have from the follow-up of Maokai and Leona just makes sure someone does not get to play.
So then, at this point, is Stoner Nation, out? Are they actually able to still do something? Hold on. Right now, Keanu getting completely rooted, and wow, the shredded damage as Yukahu ends up taking out Keanu and getting another damage as Cocaine goes legendary. 16-2 on this Akali, 300 far, 325 on the Vayne. They're looking major differently in this game, as even though it was kind of even in the beginning and then taken away from them, they're now showing fight and showing that they can absolutely take it away from the side, even though the game seems out of their hands. And this is right now looking like an NRO win potentially. They're gonna take the Baron, they're gonna take down Flame, and it's looking like the Stoners they're crumbling.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. It doesn't look like Flame will be able to carry this one, especially with just the side of they haven't team fought. They just haven't team fought. It's just been Flame sitting in side lane and solo shoving while his team is getting run down. And I'm not sure now at this point that even if he was there, that he can do anything to make the difference in the 5v5s. And it looks like they're starting the soul fight.
And even then, like, getting caught here, well, Niel getting caught here is very bad. They end up losing their top laner, and they're looking like to try to turn.
They're going to give the dragon for end.
But I don't think they have enough time. Baron and Power recalls.
No, Keanu's stopping them, and Flame has teleport.
So Flame's going to immediately teleport down. They're going to see if they can try to win this by using it with a fight. As Flame ends up being here with the Malka ultimate being
they
used,
have to focus cocaine.
They have to end up using a lot of that. Trying to use the Shroud to keep himself and end up taking a lot of damage, having to back off, go to his lane, and end up backing them out. Not going to be enough when you got the Baron powered recalls. Not going to be able to try to shred through the Baron empowered minions and be able to go ahead and go for that end of the game. TP used, all that used, and nothing of it.
This is indeed game 3.
Yes, sir. Game 3.
So Vayne's catching top side. They're 3 shoving mid, which is smart. And Gwen is catching bot side as well to try and shove in that bot side. And I anticipate they're probably going back to the split pushing antics that they had. But I'm not really sure if that's going to work for them now, because they just don't have the pressure in mid now, because they lose every fight.
At this point, it is extremely difficult to kill 2 people who go invis consistently in and out of fights. You're just gonna run into a consistent hard time with this team right now, especially considering that they finally got the gold onto the members that really matter. Both of them looking, either one's full build and one is 1 item away from full build. This is looking extremely scary right now for the Stoners.
Oh, 100%. And Inhibs will be coming back up soon on top of it. Top just came up, which means they have even less pressure to play around with now. And it looks like they're probably just going to try and stall until Elder or Baron.
All right, come on, NRL. Prove that you guys can actually close this out. Show that this right now, that advantage that you guys have built up at this point, even though you guys were behind, you were showing that you guys still had the fight to get ahead. You need to be able to close this out here. They've already got all. You only are standing with 1 tower left. Can you guys come back from the brink of death and be able to take this game out? We're about to find out hopefully soon enough. It's definitely going to be determined by this next fight.
All inhibitors are back up. Pressure has finally equalized for the side of NRL. There's so many possibilities in these fights that can happen. I wonder if we're going to see Flame try and split push again, and if he'll actually, you know... Oh, it looks like they're early rotating for Flame. Yeah, that's a good reset
been
call.
their strategy. Like, now he's going to try to attempt the back, but they all know that he's there. He should be able potentially to get away from this. Yes, he is able to. Good job, Flame. This is not something I've been afraid of necessarily, but it just wasn't something I was expecting for this to end up happening. Like this late game macro play that ends up happening. Someone pointed it out, saying that they just need to stop getting caught out. That was Blitz saying that they need to stop getting caught out and they just need to play front to back. And it's like, yes, they do, but now at this point, can they? Like, can they play like this? I think right now NRL's at a point where they can just play the way they want to.
True. And the thing that upsets me is the Stoners had like so many chances to close out this game, but they decided to play it too safe and they just lost their advantage to do so. Everyone is mostly on full build for the side of NRO besides their support and top lane.
Like, where we were seeing the light at the end of the tunnel at one point, now we're not even seeing we're seeing them like they're trying to reach their hand out, and it's slowly but surely being ripped away from them by NRO. And at this point now, if you don't end up fighting for this next Drake, if you don't end up fighting for this next objective, and if you get caught out by the Akali, caught out by somebody who ends up picking you off, you just lose the game. We're 45 minutes in. It's going to be extremely difficult to be able to win a game at this point once you start seeing the death timer start climbing up to even upwards of a minute.
Oh yeah, one pick could cost you the game. Both teams have to be super careful in how they play these next fights. And it looks like Flame is pushing for this inhib.
Which he
Akali's
definitely
backing.
can. But yeah, I don't know how easily Flame could definitely subject himself to the torture of both an Akali and a Cassante at the same time.
If they see this, that means they get to go for Baron though. This could be a Baron give. They have vision. They'll see the Akali right now.
Yep, and the Akali's being distracted right now by both Flame. Oh, yep, they try
Good
to see
Zhonya's.
it. Wins immune, Zhonya's. They're able to take that Baron right now. So Flame just having to utilize your life to be able to fight a little bit longer and live. But Kid Buu using the Maokai ultimate to try to track them down. Yukahu going domination as he ends up taking out the enemy AD carry and going ahead, going to get a double kill as he takes out the enemy mid laner, going for a quadra kill as he's able to take down 4 members. I think that's the immediate quadra kill, and that should be the end unless you can stop Flame from doing anything else.
Nope,
Flash
the flash.
in, gonna have to go ahead and lose your life. Maybe not. Wait, why would you go back in there? Oh, he was able to. But right now you got the Leona turning around, missing the E. The Xenoblade missing.
He has ulti again.
Be able to get him. So now with the ultimate being up, healing up a lot of this damage, Flame being a one-man army trying to go ahead and save this game single-handedly for his team. As now though, the Baron being secured by the side of NRO, and then now acing.
Death timers are way too high. They get Elder for free, and I think they should definitely just 5-man group it up mid and end the game.
Which that should be very easily for them to do, especially with the Vayne and the Akali at this point. With an Elder Drake, they're going to be able to just blow up anybody that comes their way.
100%. Even Cassante doing massive amounts of damage. And it looks like it's exactly what's happening is I think those pings are for Flame to backdoor out of that ward on top.
I mean, that might not be a bad idea. Stoner Nation does have enough resources to be able to at least stall this out, because you never know. NRO could just be blind, like they could literally just be blindly focusing on trying to just take all they can in this base and then being able to stop them. Oh man,
no.
Worthy Dust, I'm so sorry, man. That's an Elder Drake legendary Vayne that you were trying to stop when you were trying to backdoor and maybe take something, but you weren't able to get that ward down for him. I'm sorry.
He did get the ward, but unfortunately it cost him his life, and Vayne just ended up hitting a vision plant and clearing it immediately. Can't play with that, sadly.
No backdoors allowed here.
Nope. As much as we'd like to see one, it's not happening today. It looks like they're playing safe and just taking that inhib, backing, and then I think they're gonna try and shove out top next. I'd like to see them do a little bit more with them having the Baron and Elder combo.
Yeah,
Just
I
pull the
definitely
trigger.
Right. I know it's hard right now in the 50th minute of a game to potentially like try to find something like that. But it's definitely like you need to get that pick. Like they were able to just get something on like the Braum right there. But now it's like you need to get on something, a very important member. You need that Akali to tack on to boost it. You need that Akali to, or the Vayne to be able to shred down the Gwen. But this is definitely the last ditch fight. There's no way. Like if they activate a team fight here, it's all about who's gonna outplay who. And at this moment though, the Akali and the Vayne looking extremely strong.
100%. Definitely strong members. And looks like here's the trigger
right here, but that Elder's definitely going to be a really big buff as they end up going in. Red turret ends up getting destroyed as the fight's going on in the back. And NRO is going to be able to secure the fight instead of focusing on the fight. They end up focusing on the Nexus. Smart move there, and they end up taking this game 3 victory.
Wow, that was a fun 3 games. Definitely action packed. Game after game after game.
Jeez.
Look at that damage coming out from Flame at 6-6, even though, like a lot of it was split pushing.
Jeez, 55,000 damage. So I want to definitely give some shout outs to Stoner Nation on this. This is definitely a strong showing by them. Maybe some kinks to iron out for themselves, especially considering how new the team is to playing with one another. But I want to definitely give them some props here. It was a strong showing, taking it to 3 games and really showing that they have some real life to this team.
Oh, 100%. I feel like if there was just a few things better, they definitely could have taken the series many times over. It was always in their hands after the first game. The second and third game was a completely different showing. They came in dominant, and they did get all of the leads that they needed. They just in the third game they just couldn't pull the trigger and close it out.
And even so, it was still a damn good game, both sides. That game, I honestly need to. That's a really hard MVP vote, but I'm probably gonna end up giving it to Cocaine because that was the catalyst. Like the Akali really took it on their back first for this game to really turn that late game presence around and getting the win for them, and then enabling Yukahu to be able to just free fire on the vein and get that win.
Yes, sir. And would we like to do a MVP poll?
We already got it up.
Do we? Okay, good. MVP poll is up. Go ahead and take your votes, cast your votes, and hopefully we will get the winner of the MVP in for an interview. Oh, it was definitely a hard-fought win for the side of NRO for that, though. Especially playing into a new team. Flame made it impossibly hard, as well as Keanu being everywhere around the map.
Dainty's over here saying stressful.
Oh,
Like Flame made the game entirely stressful.
I believe it. He just the last 2 games in his split pushing, he was a constant problem that needed to be answered. Unfortunately, it got to the point where his team couldn't handle him doing that. So when he did that, yeah, he got objectives, but his team ended up losing, and they ended up losing massive buffs like Baron and Dragons. And it happens. It does.
But even with that happening again, like we do give the props to them. It was a very, very strong showing between both teams. This was definitely not like honestly, especially that last game, it wasn't even secure to us that that NRO would even end up winning at the end of that though. They just ultimately at the end of they kind of just cleaned up their macro play and they were able to really take it out. And then honestly that came down to like some of the micro play too, because that Akali really needed to be on top of themselves before they could even go in like that and be able to really secure those kills. Like some of the crazy double kills even on the back line that you wouldn't expect in the colleges to be able to get like that. And they did it.
Oh, 100%. The Akali microplay was pretty good, especially in the team fights. It showed a lot of promise for sure. I'm really excited to see him maybe play something a little bit more mechanical again, honestly, in the future.
Agreed. Definitely. And I'm sure with the people who are watching here today, definitely probably made some new, each of these players probably made some new fans. As we could see, definitely Worthy does had some fans in there. Flame definitely got some fans in there. So, definitely give some more props to the players. Definitely let more players in the league know that they got some love, they got some fans out there. If you are a new fan of the league or if you've been a fan of the league, by all means go ahead and drop a follow and drop your subs here on the we're with us here on the stream. It definitely supports the league. It definitely allows more casters to be out here. If you want to join the casting team, if you want to be a sub, if you want to try to actually get onto a team, definitely join in the Discord here, which you can definitely get the links for. But what we see as the MVP vote is over, it is being given to the mid laner Cocaine. If we can definitely get him in here for an interview if anyone's able to pull him up. Or if you would like to, definitely don't feel forced to just have to do the interview,
Well deserved indeed, especially for that last game. Valhalla Esports, take him. Okay. Blitz, would you do the honors and steal this man?
Yoink.
Hey.
Oh, hey, what's up?
So, how'd you feel about that win? You feeling good?
I did feel really good. I was calm the entire game, not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Your gameplay didn't look like it. You looked jittery as a mother. You were so good on some of those combos. It was really impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, after game, post game questions, how do you feel about the current cohesion about your team?
I really love my team. Like, we're always like trying to be better as a team, trying to find comfort in each other, and that's what I really like. Kid Boo, he's really consistent in trying to make us better as a team. We have our weaknesses, and we try to what's it called? Like highlight from that, Yeah, in a way, yeah. And yeah, I'm just here for them, and I'm here for us to win. Yeah.
Awesome. Malco, would you like to follow up with questions?
Honestly, my major thing, like I said, did it come down to like who was like really like calling for a lot of that stuff in the late game? Because you're saying that you were calm, so were you kind of like, did you kind of take it on yourself, or was it just more of like, just in general, like the entire team really just calling for what each other needed to do? Like, did you guys see those avenues of winning, and then everyone was this kind of a collective effort?
Everyone is honestly was like doing call outs on everyone. Like I'm like the one who's like doing the least, because I'm just like, I'm calm. But whenever I do say I'm going in, I say it with like such like aggressiveness that they're like, okay, we're gonna back you up, and. But everyone's always doing shout outs, call outs for objectives, for like taking a pick, for going from one place to another in the map. So it's all like even when it comes to like call outs. But as you know, the most who did like the most call outs is Kid Boo, of course. He's the one who has like way more passion than everyone here. It's insane.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, next week, you are going against, Los Nomadas. How do you feel you're going to shore up against the Bopsy?
I'm excited. I really like going against everyone here. I needed to study him more because I don't know anyone here yet. I'm new, so I'm excited either way.
I'll give you a quick hint. Karma.
Oh God. Okay, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
All right, awesome. Any follow up questions, Malco, Blitz?
I think I'm all good.
All right, Cokehead. Well, thank you for joining us on the cast, and congratulations on your win. I hope you have a good night and savor it, and I will see you on the RIT.
Thank you very much. You guys do have a great night.
You
too.
And
All
with
right,
that,
Malco.
Alrighty, and I guess with that, I think that's the final notes. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Season 3, Week 3 of Stoner Nation versus Night Ray Owl here at Valhalla Esports. If you have not already, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and do all the things that you needed to do to be a part of the Valhalla community. And with that much said, I'm Malco. This has been Janelle and Blitz beautifully on the cast with me, and we are signing off. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a great week.